Hello there. And we are live. See ya, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to the second stop of my tour. People, I'm on tour, people. Yeah, I'm shameless. I'm on tour. Yeah. And it's the What Now Tour, people. The What Now Tour, Arsenal champions. Guess what? Yeah, yesterday, just as if it wasn't enough, brother Igal, came down to the channel, opened up my show special, which is the What Now Tour yesterday. And people, today, I'm bringing in my Niger brother. Deal with it. I'm bringing in Omo Iya. My brother, my brother from the motherland. See, people, the enigmatic Dayo, former Arsenalized channel, on YouTube. He now goes by the Gunners Edge, people. And my brother is here. You can see man is smiling, bro. People, Arsenal are champions. Dayo, talk to these people. Let them hear. Let them hear you, man.
How far? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, look, hey, we finally did it. We're the champions now. So everybody can take several seats. And I'm one person who, when people have seen me on streams, I'm very passionate the way I talk, the way I speak. You probably think maybe I'm angry or whatever, but no. You see, the way the insults were loud, the way the banter was loud when we were not winning, the way everything was being said loudly and straight into our faces. I want you, if you're going to come and applause, to be just as loud. If it's not as loud, please take several seats. Just go away. I'm not interested. Do you understand? Because you cannot give it on that level and then come and say, well, yeah, congratulations. No. It's got to be just as loud, But it was due. It was due. It was coming. It was coming. It was inevitable. There was no two way about it. Arsenal was eventually going to win. And I think what it is rival fans refused to look at the football and they just wanted to echo banter and speak through the chamber of banter on anything that Arsenal did. Because if you genuinely look at this team, we've accumulated the most points over the last 3 seasons, more than Man City, more than Liverpool, more than everybody else, even though we didn't win with it. That begs the question, the fine margins. What are the things we need to correct to win? And I think we corrected those things this season, and we'll get into it we'll get into
We'll definitely get into it. People, we're on the What Now Tour, we're live right now, with Dayo of the Gunners Edge. See, Dayo, at the start of the season, what was that thing that really clicked in your head for you to say, you know what, we're going to win the league this season? I know many Arsenal fans, would say, you know what, we're going to win the league. No. What was that point at the start of the season where you felt, you know what, forget all this smack talk. Arsenal is winning this league this season. Where was that point for you at the start of the season?
At the start of the season, there were two flashpoints. The first flashpoint was the first game with United. I don't think we had won at Old Trafford. We either had drawn or something, and it was always Old Trafford was just a place that I didn't like. I genuinely have always had a phobia for going to Old Trafford as an Arsenal fan. Anytime there's a match, I try to barely not watch the match because I just don't feel like it goes our way. Something goes wrong, and everything went wrong. We played very, very badly in that first game of the season, but we won from a set piece. And I'd been warning people from the season before about our set piece. So when I saw that set piece happen, I was like, that was the first flashpoint where I was like, we'll be fine this season because we're playing this badly. We've not clicked and we can walk away with 3 points. By the time we click, it'll be difficult for people to really get at us. That was my first flashpoint. My second flashpoint was St. James's Park. Coming back to win that game 2-1.
But I God said that yesterday too.
St. James's Park for me was it. The minute Gabriel scored that second goal, that showed me the mentality of the Arsenal team had changed. Those were the two. The first flashpoint was, even though we're playing badly, we have other tools in getting 3 points. We have a way to win. Against the Newcastle one, it was the never say die mentality till the last second. Like just keep on attacking, keep on. And I was like, because we didn't have that before, So that for me were the two flashpoints that made me feel like, you know what, it is done. I was like, the league is done. I was like, again, by that time we had picked up a bit of momentum. We went into October where we had no shots on target against us. We gave no shots on target. And
you remember that time, bro? Where there was no shots on target.
It now
became a I mean, a weekly thing that hey, these teams can come and take shots at us.
Yeah. And then November again up until December. And I told people I had started saying it then. I was even mocking a lot of people. I said the work to win the league has been done. Because the second half of the season was going to be tough anyways, because we're still in 4 competitions. So we have to realize that players will tire out. Forget you have a deep squad, they will get tired. Arsenal right now has about 4 or 5 players that have played over 4,000 minutes, which is the equivalent of 45 games each. Zubimendi has played over 45 games, full 45 games. Declan Rice, Gabriel, Raya, and Saliba, 5 of them have played literally more than 45 games, full 90 minutes. And
bro, that's true, mate.
That's a lot of games. So
that's a lot of games. Even for Zubimendi, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Zubimendi, bro.
When he started to burn out,
man was in the rest of Sociedad. He hasn't seen the kind of games, bro.
He hasn't.
Seen this season, bro.
He hasn't.
Man is knackered. Man is run down with fatigue, bro.
Yeah, and professionals will tell you that any top level footballer should play 45 to 60 games at the most. But by the time the season ends, Declan Rice would have played 68 games. By the time we finish the season, the Champions League.
Wait. 68 games?
Yes, which means that he would have come in like not 68 full 90 minutes, but 60. He's touched the pitch.
Yeah, sure. Oh my days.
In about 68 games, and he's going to the World Cup.
That's true.
And he's going to the World Cup. You must remember he's played in some FA Cups. He's played in some Carabao Cups. He's played in the Champions League. He's played in the Premier League. Literally,
he's played for England too. In some of these World Cup games.
Yeah. So by the time you count all of that together, he would have played 68 games this season. So it's madness, right? So it's madness. So I try to put context around it when my players are not playing well, but getting 3 points. I'm like, I understand that there's other external things that you're dealing with, and but at least you're bringing the 3 points home. That's the key thing. So that was the point.
Wait, yeah. I mean, these numbers, yeah, you just talked about with Declan Rice, yeah, bro. These are astronomical numbers, yeah. See, we just won the league this week, yeah. Tell me how, in your own opinion, yeah, look into our injury crisis this season, because many people still don't even really understand that even with this league win, it took Mikel Arteta, yeah, a whole lot to really shuffle the deck, yeah, because we had lots of injuries, because Saka was playing with injuries this season.
Yeah.
Man was knackered. Look at Zubimendi. I mean, I'm not saying he was injured, but I mean, fatigue comes into play. Man is tired. That's why man is coming from the bench. Look at Jurien Timber, completely banged out. It's back out, bro. Out. Look at Benjamin White. Came back, off again, came back again, off again. There was a time when Gabriel was injured. There was a time when he left, he came back, and then Saliba got injured again. Martinelli has been in and out of the squad. There was also a time when Trossard was injured, bro.
Yeah.
There was also a time when Gyökeres,
Arsenal
when his first game, he was injured, bro.
Arsenal has had
got injured, bro. Lots of injured. Calafiore injured, bro.
Yeah, we've had
Odegaard injured, bro. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we've had the second most injuries behind Tottenham this season in the Premier League. So I think Tottenham has had like 36. We've had like 32 injuries. But having said that, this is what informs why Mikel Arteta plays the way he plays, where he wants to play controlled football, and when you're off the ball, we control the game. So we're not playing high-intensity football and getting more injuries, which is why he played the way he played. When you control the game, when you dictate the pace of the game, your players don't have to run as much. They don't have to do as much. They don't have to do the quick. I hear Arsenal fans, move the ball quicker in transition, take the ball, boom, do this. You do that with the amount of injuries that you have. You put more pressure on your players, you get more injuries, you hurt yourselves, and you hurt your chances of being able to win or stay competitive to win the league. So we played very controlled football, very slow, lethargic football, very boring football, but we controlled it. We dictated where the ball would be and what you would do. Off the ball, Arsenal happens to be one of the best, if not the best team in Europe off the ball. And for me, that is a manager that understands what he's dealing with. If I'm getting all these injuries because there's a lot of games to be played and fatigue is setting in, why do I want to play high press football? Why do I want to impress anybody? No, I just want to win the league. And getting 3 points, if it means slowing things down, you see him doing this all the time. slow it down,
Yeah.
slow it down. People just didn't understand. Look, do you know before when we played Man City and we lost to Man City at the Etihad?
Yeah.
Right after that game, you saw the reports. Mikel Arteta gave the players days off. They're eating barbecue at training. He wasn't. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. People expected more intensity training. He was like, no,
Yeah.
no, this is not what we need to win the league. What we need is to not be the team that puts that external extra pressure on ourselves and get injuries. There's injuries are going to happen anyways in the first place. Now you want to play high turnover game. You want to play counter attack. You want to play a low block and then hit them on the run. Everybody's hamstring will be gone with the amount of games that we need to play. Even Noni Madueke was injured at one point.
Yeah.
Noni was Saka was injured. You know, Max
He's been
Dalman,
in and out of injuries. I mean, Madueke
Max Dalman was injured at the beginning of the season.
at the beginning of the season.
He didn't, which is why he didn't get any look into the FA and Carabao Cup initially at the very beginning. But again, let's be realistic. And I'm not blaming injuries, right? I'm just saying when you have that amount of injuries, your manager has to be smart enough and intelligent enough to know how to change his style of play.
But again, people will counter that by saying, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, shut up about the injuries. You have a big squad. That was why you went into the
but then
you brought in backups. You brought in
how many
minutes has he played?
Yeah, but then you manage your backup.
Mars Lewis Kelly, he was always on the bench. It's just even more recently that he started even coming in place of Martin Odegaard, in the middle of the park.
Lewis Kelly.
There are these questions that are being asked.
Yeah, but
about, why wasn't there, an effective rotational policy so that these guys don't get run to the ground? People like Bemendi, who had such a great first half, this season, and in the second season, man, is struggling with fatigue, and they're putting that blame on Mikel Arteta based on lack of rotational policy. But again, what they are saying.
I hear what they're saying, but then when they say that, they say it out of ignorance, right? Because Mikel Arteta is not the fitness coach. Mikel Arteta is not the guy who drafts up what the players do in the training room. His job is to manage the players' strategy, keep their heads.
But it's his job.
Hold on.
No. He calls the shot. There's nothing that happens that Arteta doesn't know about.
Let me finish. If a fitness,
he knows about everything.
I'm not saying he doesn't know. When the fitness coach says they need to do 2 hours in the gym, Mikel Arteta cannot say the fitness coach is wrong. He's going to say, okay, I know you're going to spend 2 hours in the gym, then you're going to come out on the pitch for this amount of hours, and these are the drills we'll run. But he's not the one designing the fitness that they're doing in the gym. Arteta is not sitting down and saying, you're doing 6 reps of 12 reps of this, of that, he's not doing that. So in that case, when they get injured in that process at that time, we need to be looking at the fitness coach and how much pressure you're putting on the players, because the manager's job is to manage the players, manage the mentality, manage the strategy, the skill, the way we're going to set up and play. Is he the one telling them, oh, his hamstring is ready for him to play? He's not. It's the medical team that lets you know. That's number one. So when people speak about it, they speak about it out of ignorance to me, where they just want
but Dayo, we've heard scenarios where people like that Julian Timber has come out to say he has played for Arsenal while injured. Guess who gave the word for that to happen?
Hold on.
Again, I'm not plugging holes. No, I mean,
I'm about to answer you.
I told you, me and Dayo are people.
I'm about to listen. I'm about to.
Me and Dayo, we're 2 big characters, so it is what it is. No, Dayo, people like Julian Timber came out last season and said, you know what, I played for this club injured, true injury.
Yes. Who gave the
word for him to go? It's Mikel Arteta.
No,
don't Dayo Saka has been playing injured for this football club, and you know it's true, Dayo. Dayo,
when you're done.
Came out and said, I've been playing through pain. Even Arteta admitted it that, hey, Saka have been playing through pain. Who gave the word for him to play?
So, is that your question? Who gave the word? Good.
Yeah, who gave the word?
So I'm going to give you.
Because you were saying that.
Let me answer.
Saying that if the fitness guy say that is injured. No. But I need to give you a perspective because you are saying that these guys would tell Mikel Arteta, oh, this player is injured. There's a schedule for him. or whatnot. Yeah. So this player can play. So now, why are these players coming out and saying, "Hey, I still played with injury"?
So can I answer the question? You're repeating the same
and
question.
you're telling me that Arteta doesn't know any
you
of
are
this?
repeating the question over and over again. You don't want an answer. That's why you keep on repeating this. So can I answer?
No. It's because you're fine tuning the whole thing.
No.
So I need to hold you by what you said.
Can I answer the question now?
Yes,
first
sir.
First and foremost, no player plays 100% fit in the Premier League. Every player that comes up, nobody's 100% fit of, I don't have any niggle, I don't have any this. Thierry Henry said he played 10 years with his Achilles out, but he was playing. Players play with injury regardless. It's the level of injury that the medical team allows to say, hey, you're a player, you know you can still play. Even though there's an injury, it's not the injury that knocks you the hell out. So when players say, oh, I'm playing with that injury, it's not, oh, my hamstring was ripped and Arsenal kept on playing me. No. It's a case of, yes, I was still having some muscle fatigue. And by the time we put ice on it and they spray whatever it is, I can play 90 minutes. I go back, I do an ice bath. No player is playing 100% fit. So when players say that, don't attribute it to the fact that the manager is playing the player into the ground. No, because yes, they will play with certain level of pain. That's number one. Number two, when the player says, I played with injury, does not mean that it is automatically the manager that said, get on the pitch. He still has to run it by the medical team. Remember, Arsenal is a club that is run by owners. The players are assets. You do not pay 50 million for Ben White for your manager to just decide to run him into the ground. The ownership will not agree to that because now you can't sell Ben White for a good price. There's all these other factors that get into play. He might ask and say, oh, can he play this weekend? When they ask him about Jurriën Timber, he says, Mikel Merino is already training with the first team today. That's what he said in his press conference. He says, Jurriën Timber, we don't know. We'll see over the next few days. Why? Because he needs to get word from the people who are going to say, yes, on the treadmill, he's already good. He still has a few these things here and there, but he'll be able to play. So when a player says, I'm playing through injury, he's not saying his Achilles is torn and Arteta is throwing him on the pitch. Go ahead and play. This is why I hate the narrative that people write about managers, like as though the manager is some taskmaster, wicked demon, just whipping people in shape. No. They play with injury and they will say every single player. How is it that Thierry Henry says 10 years he played with his Achilles and he realized when it was time to give up that he made the choice to stop playing. But he was talking about Micah Richards and he said, Micah, you did not have the chance to make that choice because yours gave way. So somebody who played 10 years with injury, playing for Arsenal, scoring all those goals, he was still playing with injury. And he will say it, I'm playing with injury. So what are we doing here? We're not going to blame that on the manager. Like, that's not a thing that we do on the manager.
But again, Dayo, that's not what I said. Yeah.
No, not you. I'm saying that you said what people say. I said, I'm based on what you said. You said that's what they say, that, oh, he's playing players he's not rotating players. Okay, let's talk about Miles Lewis Kelly. Miles Lewis Kelly was given an opportunity at the beginning of the season, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. He didn't play well. In fact, he missed one FA Cup because he got 2 yellow cards back to back and he had to be removed from the next game. So he reduced his chances of being able to show the manager what he can do. And if a manager cannot trust you, he would rather play the guy who still has some muscle ache, who he can trust, because you haven't showed it yet. It's only when the manager's hand is forced to remove the key players that they trust that they play other players. And now that they've played you, you showed you can do it. Guess what?
Again, how many times did he play Miles Lewis Kelly though? It's only a handful. It's only a handful of times. And again, you do know that styles make certain games. Maybe those kind of games where high pressured matches, like for instance, he came in that game against Tottenham in a very, very high profile match like that at the time when Miles Lewis Kelly was playing when he called him on to play in midfield at that time. That was a very, very high pressured match. He's a very young player.
He must have seen something in training though. They must have trained something, because again, I think we assume that he's a left back. We know that Miles Lewis Kelly by trade is a midfielder. We've all known this from the academy. Just like Bukayo Saka was always a winger at the academy but came in through left back. The left back position is a position that we tend to use as a funnel to bring in young players, and we know that eventually they'll fledgling into the position that they will play, right? So eventually Miles was going to end up in the midfield. Eventually, it was always based on hierarchy and trust and connection. And because he was playing left back well, there was no point in changing that. He's a good midfielder. He will always be a good midfielder. Now he's learning some defensive stuff in left back. By the time he goes to the midfield and he's playing there, he'll be a better player because now he's learned some defensive skills coupled with his natural midfield skills, right? Yeah. So again, I think we're at the point where he's now breaking into that part of it. But you just don't do it overnight. They must have done stuff in training, hence why the manager trusted you to go to midfield. Hence why he brought you into midfield. So when people talk about it, but then say, oh, but he should have done it sooner. No, maybe he shouldn't have done it sooner. Maybe Miles needed like a few more weeks of realizing I need to be able to play in this position properly when I'm given the chance. Like you sometimes hunger is what gets you to do it. Like a Jessica, because Zubimendi is tired today. He's tired. He can only do, let me put you in. You now go there and fumble. Let me ask you a question. If we had lost that game, everybody would have blamed Mikel Arteta for putting Luis Kelly in the midfield.
True. Fact.
The same thing with Max Dalman. If we had lost the game with Everton, people would have blamed him for bringing in a 16-year-old instead of trying to depend on his key player. But they've trained something. They've worked on it in training. They've done this over and over and over and over and over and over again. The player is knocking the manager's door. I'm ready. I'll know when you're ready. Don't worry. The time will come. That builds something in the player so that when you're given that opportunity, you step in there and you take it by the horn. I think fans are just too very fickle. Like, we don't want to give any context to anything because we want to be negative about our team. And that's what I hear from a lot of, rivals and even
Arsenal fans. Again, see, Dayo, again, this brings me, because you just made mention of it, Dayo, because there's this big divide in our fan base. Yeah, I mean, they've separated themselves into top gunners, bottom gunners, negative, positive. I mean, every time I've heard you speak, it's always positive. I completely get that. I don't classify myself as any of these two because I work with positive people. I work with the so-called people they call the negatives. I work with them too. I like to look at myself as a guy in the middle. Yeah, I'm always positive about the season. But again, you also have to be critical about the football club in some ways, constructively. Like for instance, in that Carabao Cup final, bro, you don't turn up to a final like that, bro. You don't turn up to a final with that kind of tactics, bro. That no runners, no guts, no glory, no one is making
it. Wasn't the tactics.
And then we lose that final in the Carabao Cup. So this is what I'm saying. So should we just laugh and dance when we are losing?
No, don't laugh. But he said
no. Should we laugh and dance and be merry when we've just lost the Carabao Cup? I know we've won the big one, yeah, but as at that time, shouldn't there be some form of? I want to know where your headspace is. Shouldn't we have a system where
you said constructive?
Say, I want to critique the team
again
constructively.
Again, you said
not in your dictionary in any way.
You said constructive criticism, which is not what most people do. Most people don't constructively criticize the team when they lose. What most people do is they just say, get rid of this manager, Arteta out. This is crap. This is crap. That is not constructive criticism. First and foremost, right, you have to understand that was our first final in a long time. These boys have never been to a final. There will be the occasion will get to you. That's number one. Forget trying to tell me whether you're a good team or not a good team. City have been to many finals with Pep, so that meant the occasion will not get to them. You have to put context around everything. So
it's a mentality thing. So it's let me get your headspace.
Let me finish.
So it's a mentality thing.
Don't use the word mentality. Let me finish so that you understand what I'm saying. So my criticism first is you turn up there, the manager we needed to have created a thought process with the players. Say, listen, there's going to be a massive occasion. It's Wembley. It's different. This is not the Emirates.
Yeah.
Right. This is a final. This is a one-time game. Like we needed to have gotten them to that mentality stage. Now, even if you are able to, and they get there and the occasion overwhelms them, everything that you've trained for could fall apart. And that I will not blame on the manager and say, oh, you're stuck. No, because again, you've given them what they need. Now, that's number one. Occasion could have been an issue. So we now have to prepare for those type of occasions. We have to know that finals are things that now that they've been there and they lost that game and they saw how it felt, I'm sure the next final they go to, they are more prepared. They are well prepared. They've not been to one before. We played well in the first half. They looked okay in the first half. It looked an even game. Everything fell apart in 20
minutes. In the first half. Yeah, in the second half, it was.
No. In the second half, everything fell apart in 20 minutes. It was a 20-minute spell where everything fell apart, not the whole 45 minutes. So let's criticize that 20 minutes. What happened in that 20 minutes? The pressure got to them. So when people say constructive criticism, I criticize a team like that, where I go in and I point out what they did wrong so that next time they don't make that mistake if they ever see this video or hear it. But what most people do is, that was just a crappy game. Arteta out. That's not constructive criticism. That's just you farming for clicks and likes so that people can come and yeah, that's what most people are doing. They're farming for clicks and likes. It's like, oh, let's go. I just have to be the most controversial I can be about the club so that way people can. No, the truth is, if I ask you what happened in that 20 minutes, why we collapsed.
Ola, see, Dayo, I keep calling you Ola.
Let me tell you why we collapsed. Let me quickly tell you why we collapsed.
Dayo, do you think this criticism is coming from a place of Arsenal haven't won a trophy, a major trophy, in like 22 seasons? Because we've been having this problem. It's not today we started having these issues in this fan base, where we're grouping ourselves as negatives and positives. I don't want to be part of that nomenclature. And that's why I want you to really treat this subject before we go into the bigger ones that we have to talk about. See, where is your headspace on that, bro?
Yeah, it is coming. It is. I agree with you. It's coming from a place where we haven't won stuff in 22 years, right? We haven't won a major. We haven't won a major in 22 years, a major trophy in 22 years. But then two things can be true. You can constructively continue to criticize your team without actually just shitting on them. For example, the Carabao Cup first and second half was men against boys. What does men against boys mean? Like, explain to me. This is what I mean by, like, when we say men against boys, really and truly. 20 minutes. Do you know why we collapsed? I'll tell you why we collapsed. When we played a mid-block, Man City played 4 players in front. Man City played a 4-4-2 to press us. They played a 4-4-2 to press us. When we are off the ball, like when we have the ball and we want to play out, we usually play out with a 3 from the back when we want to play out. That's where we have somebody invert. And we kept on inverting, right? We had player inverting, but because they were playing 4 against our 3, there were no spaces in the channels for us to be able to pass the ball. Hence the pressure. Now, the second thing is this. Hence the pressure on Kepa. Kepa is not as good distribution-wise like Raya. And the players don't trust Kepa distribution-wise like they trust Raya. Every time the ball went back to Kepa, you saw the pressure. And in that 20 minutes, it collapsed. That is exactly where I can criticize the team and say, okay, when you notice, this is where I put blame at the manager's feet. You've noticed they're pressing you with 4, then don't play out with 3 at the back. Play out with 4 from the back, including Kepa making 5. Overload that low block that they're trying to play, and then see if you can send the ball forward. I think that's what I would have opted for. So when I'm criticizing the team, I'm not only criticizing, I'm also giving solutions. But you hear people criticize the team and just say things like men versus boys, or Arteta is crap, and I'm like, I don't get it. I get that there's pain for 22 years, but two things can be true. There can be pain, and you can constructively criticize your team and point them in the right direction. Right? And not just be, oh, I just got to shit on the team just because it's good for the social media and people are going to like it. It's it's good.
See, Dayo, the thing there is that, to be very sincere with you, again, I still think that Mikel Arteta is still that guy that's still learning on the job.
He's 7 years on his job. He's 7 years experience.
He's still learning on the job.
He's a new manager.
Yeah, exactly. He's still learning, and again, with experience, with more games, with more wins, you improve as a manager. That's how I'm looking at it, and it has come full circle because he's a Premier League winner right now, so it's come full circle. It's come full circle right now. So
it's crazy how
whatever the risk involved in all this waiting, it has paid off.
It has paid off
as Arsenal fans, because. When you look into this same thing you're talking about, some people could still say, hey, okay, if you knew that David Raya was the best option in terms of goalkeeping asset to be down there, rather than doing all this merry-go-round, why didn't you just put David Raya? Why put in Kepa there in the first place? It's decisions like that people get mad about when they see it. Not even from the standpoint of a tactical nuance. It just be what you did, the kind of assets you employed to carry out the tactic that work.
Hold on. Kepa kept throughout the entire Carabao Cup up until the final. Kepa deserved to be the goalkeeper in post. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to rewrite narratives.
But he didn't have no. He did not have any bet right.
Let me.
Final.
It's not about.
I've seen managers who have used the second string, who have used the second string players to play in the quarterfinals and the second rounds. But when he gets to the final,
can I finish? I didn't say he had the bet right. What I'm saying, and I'm going to clarify what I'm saying and qualify what I'm saying. What I'm saying is very, very simple and very clear. We talked about managing player minutes. We talked about Raya being one of the players who has played over 45 or almost 50 games right now of 90 minutes. There's player management, there's minute management for all these players. So again, there's a reason why you've played all the way to the final. Let's keep and also manage Raya's minutes just because you want. Okay, if we played Raya and we still lost that game, what will happen? You're still going to blame the manager. So the point is, Raya was not going to be the difference.
But it's still based on if, buts, and maybes. It's still based on if, buts, and maybes. So in order to eliminate the fact that we're talking about if, buts, and maybe, in order for us to eliminate the if, buts, and maybes, you can actually just go with what has actually been working.
Which is why
that's what I'm saying. Isn't it better for you to go with what has really been working?
What was working for the Carabao Cup? Kepa worked for the Carabao Cup also. You're saying what was working? He was the keeper from the beginning of the Carabao Cup to the final. At no point did Raya take charge. So if we're
looking at it from an holistic. We're looking at it holistically.
I'm coming. See, if that was working for you, then he did the right thing because you don't change your winning formula that has been working for you, right? All of a sudden now you want to be.
You see why I call them the enigmatic. Enigmatic Dayo people.
Right now we want to turn around and be like, let's now be holistic about it when we get to the end of it, and then look at it like. So now you're asking him to change.
No. Let me finish. It's not alien to do that. Again, I'm not saying alien to do that. We've seen many managers do that.
Listen, my point is,
use the smaller kids, use the younger players. The days of finals when we won all those FA Cups.
Arsene Wenger
is to do that.
Arteta.
I want to agree that it's not alien.
Listen, I did not say it's alien. I said I hear you. It's not alien.
So,
but again, listen. I agreed with you. It's not alien. But Arteta is not Arsene Wenger. Arteta is not going to do Arsene Wenger's system. So let's stop this because Arsene Wenger has done it. This guy has to do it. Because this person did it like this 10 years ago. No, it's not alien. We've seen it. Football is played in different ways. I agree that at the end of the day, that team that you fielded, you could have fielded your best team. But at the same time, you were chasing 4 trophies. So you have to pick and choose your demon. To say, I want to trust you guys to be able to go in there and win this one for us while the other guys are resting to be able to win the Champions League game that is coming up and take us to the next level there. Because again, if you play them in the final and somebody gets hurt, that means you can't play them in the Champions League the following week, which means you might not even be in the Champions League final right now. So some things will give and take for each other. The only reason why I said I will criticize the way we played in that 20 minutes was I felt the occasion got to us. We realized we could not break out with the ball and we broke down. At that point, I blame the manager for not changing certain things tactically. Let's be honest. Like that's where I put the blame out. So when people want to change the narrative and say, well, why didn't he just play the first team? Yeah, we've seen what happens when you run the first team into the ground. Timber is injured. Ben White is injured. Your key players are injured. And you're still in the Champions League. You're still chasing the Premier League. So
you're still chasing the major ones.
So again, I felt bad that we lost the Carabao Cup, but it is what it is. We learned we've not been in the final before. God knows the last time we were in the final. So this one for me was like, you know what? Hey, guys, I want you to feel the pain of losing this final and use that to run with the rest of the season. And they've done that. They've done that. And when you should not be still learning on the job after 7 years. Yes, you should in football because football is ever evolving. The football that was played 5 years ago by Pep Guardiola is not the same that is being played right now. So if you're not still learning and evolving consistently, then you're lying to yourself. Again, we can sit here and say 21-22 season, nobody expected us to challenge. Mikel Arteta had just come in 2019. That was 2 years into his shuffling of players. Nobody expected us to challenge. So we were literally 1 season ahead of the curve of what we wanted to do. Challenging 21-22 was the biggest mistake that we made. The biggest mistake. We needed to have made top 4 that season and then come back 22-23 and challenge. So now people expected us. I mean, sorry,
Yeah,
expected
yeah.
us to win.
I mean, yeah. After that challenge to go all the way the next season to
Yeah,
win it,
and,
innit?
that's crazy. That's crazy comparisons. Like, I want my team to win, but I'm not an unreasonable person where I can't sit down and objectively criticize them properly. I'm not just going to be shamefully like, look at this. No, there are players on this squad that I don't want. But then when I look at what they contribute in isolation in certain games, I'm like, you know what, hey, if that's what's going to get me 3 points, you know what, I'll keep you for now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll keep you for now because I'm not overly going to be like, get rid of this guy. He's so crap. He's so this. No, there's certain games that I see your impact, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, we need you in those games. We can't really score in that game. You're the one that is going to win us a penalty. So win us a penalty. If that's your job, get it for me. As long
yeah,
as it's a win. And guess what? We had multiple times this season where that happened, where players just
yeah.
stepped in and did what they needed to do in
They
isolation.
needed to do
In
like
that
Kai
one game.
Havertz. Kai Havertz,
In
God
that
bless
one
him.
game.
No, I
In that
mean there
one
was
game.
sometimes he just came up from the bench and gave us something different, bro.
Noni playing against Bayern in the Champions League. Martinelli having a crazy run in the league phase of the Champions League and
Of the
scoring
Champions League, yeah,
back to back, but looking like crap in the Premier League. You know, Trossard had his early season beginnings where he was scoring 4-5 games back to back, then had a 21 game drought. You know, you had players who, you know, like just contributed. Zubimendi has scored the most goals he scored in his entire career at Arsenal this season. He's not scored as many goals as he has scored in his entire career. When
his entire career.
Yeah, when Arsenal got to the 100 goal in all competitions mark halfway through the season, and they were saying, no, Arsenal is the second or is it the third team in Europe after Bayern, and I think it was Bayern and Barcelona or something that had also made it to the 100 goal mark. We had scored 101 goals. Believe it or not, 50 of those goals were contributed by 4 new players that we bought: Victor Gyökeres, Noni Madueke, Eberici Eze, Zubimendi.
Yeah, that's fact, people.
So when
Straight
people
fact,
so when people sit down and criticize these guys, I'm like, no, this is their contribution to the journey of us winning something.
Something, yeah.
And if you're going to contribute that to my club, I'm taking it any day, anytime.
Any day, anytime. But
If
see,
you
Dayo, we have to move on, bro. See, people. See, people, this is why I want Dayo. I wanted him to be the second person on this store stop. Not just because I respect him or not because me and him are from the same country, but this guy knows his bro. This guy respect him, people. Yeah, this guy knows his stuff. See, Dayo, yeah, rivals, haters, saboteurs of this football club. Yeah, they say Mikel Arteta doesn't play beautiful football. Yeah, this is the holes they're plugging. Yeah, they believe that we're not playing with the aesthetics. They believe that we're playing defensive football. Many people like the Gary Nevilles of this world, that absolute melt, John Mikel Obi. Yeah, absolute melt. Yeah, talking smack about how we've won this Premier League. I mean, this season. Yeah, everything is pointing towards that. You know, towards the lane that Arsenal doesn't play beautiful football. But then I look at every other team in the league who has actually played amazing football though this season. Though, Dayo, give us footnotes to this, bro.
Again, football is played in different ways. I don't enjoy how we play. I'll be honest, like it's not the football I'm used to where we, you know, tiki taka, pass the ball, dribble. Like, yeah, fair enough. But if you're playing in the league where you've had the most 1-0s.
Yasa.
Hey, Yasa, what's up, bro?
Yasa TV, that's my G. Yasa, I'm champions now. I'm champions. See, I'm with Dayo. We're champions, bro. What now? What now? We're champions, yeah? We are the champions. We are the champions of the world.
For losers.
Yes.
We are the champions of the world.
Champion is ole, ole, ole. Champion is ole, ole. See, people were champions. I don't care. See, people, yeah. See, people, just before Dayo answers that question, yeah. See, people, yeah. Dayo has been one of the most slagged up fans, yeah, in this fan base. People, give him its flowers, people. Give Dayo of the Gunners Edge his flowers, people. Yeah, he's been one of people. Yeah, I've seen him even in some of my friends I work with. People, they've quoted him. Yeah, they bring out where he's on stream and they slag him off. People, people. He said it at the earlier part of the stream. Let the apologies be louder right now, people, because man, I've been saying it. We're gonna win. We're gonna win a major one. We're gonna win a major one. I'm in the same group with him. I see what he says all the time. He's been one of the most positive people. Yeah, and right now, yeah, it's time for you guys to just give him his flowers, people. Dayo, I give you your flowers, my G. I give you your flowers because since I've known you now for about 3 seasons now. Yeah. But the way you talk, the way you conduct yourself, amazing, bro. I really appreciate that. But even this season, bro, even when we were even, in those spells where it was really shaky and wavy, you really stood the test of time and said, you know what? Yeah, we're still gonna win this title, bro.
Yeah, because again, you have to look at football from it. Like the way I look at football now, it's about how to win the game. That's the way I look at it now. All right. So here's the thing: the season begins, and I always say to myself, "You're not going to win every game." I always tell myself, "You're not going to win 38 games. It's not going to happen again for a long time." So because I'm not going to win every game, my mind is already set. Then I say to myself, "The games I'm going to lose, how I lose it is what matters to me."
Yeah.
How I lose those games. Now, if I lose a game to Liverpool, like I lost to Liverpool this season, I'm not pained. That is a worldie that, bruh, no goalkeeper is stopping that Szoboszlai free kick. And we saw him do it 5 more times in the season. I'm not losing my mind to that kind of loss. To Manchester United, I'm not losing my mind to 2 worldie goals that they did not expect. And one of them came from a player that you would never have expected.
But Declan Rice should have done better in one of those.
I am not saying
goals, bro. Let's don't do this, bro.
If you let me, this is why. Hold on. Again, you need to let me finish so that you understand my what I'm saying. I'm saying,
I get you, bro.
I'm saying the goalkeeper could have done better. Fair enough. Nobody's expecting what's his name. What's that United boy's name? The left Dogu to hit. Nobody's seen Dogu do that in his life. Dogu is never going to hit that kind of ball again. So again, it wasn't an expected shot by the goalkeeper. He could have done better. But when you play football, there's certain players on the pitch like, this guy is not a guy that's going to hit the ball from there. So you're not prepared for him. You're thinking Dogu is going to pass, but then Dogu does that to you. Now with Cunha, yes, you're expecting Cunha to do that because Cunha has that in his locker. So as a goalkeeper, you're even more prepared for Cunha than you are for him. But again, 2 worldie goals that got United to be able to beat us. They were not 2 goals that they cut us apart and they, dribbled us and broke down my defense. So again, how I lose matters to me, right? If I lose games that way, I understand that I'm going to lose some games in the season. Then dropping points, how I drop points matters to me. Who did I drop points against and why? Not just that I'm going to lose my head because I drop points to Wolves. At the stage where I drop points to Wolves, my players are fatigued, dead. Muscles are gone. They're in 4 tournaments at this time. Wolves is playing 1 game a week and resting.
Again, people will say that's why you have such a big squad, though.
Yes,
so
but hold on. Again, that's why you have a big squad and you have the second most injuries in your big squad, right behind Tottenham. We see Tottenham with 36 injuries, Arsenal with 32, and Arsenal is at the top of the league. Tottenham is at the bottom of the league with just 4 injury separation. So that means you're managing your injuries as much as you can.
As you can.
You can't. We just. Oh, you have a big squad, yeah. So we're going to negate the fact that we've had multiple injuries in this same big squad that we have. Where we now have to manage the players and then you're like, oh, play Miles. Not yet, because you still have a lot of games to play. Let me rest Miles because I'm going to need him down the line. If I start him now and he gets injured, then I'm screwed. That's player management.
Dayo, because I asked you a question. Of course, we were talking about other things. I had to give you your flowers, my bro. So we completely lost track of that question. You answer it. Dayo, do you think our football right now that we're champions, the pressure is over? I do understand that you need to do what you need to do to win. You need to stink it up a little bit. You need to use set pieces. You need to do all this, all this stuff, all this hocus pocus, and win the league. I get it. But from here going forward, do you think that Arteta will bring back the aesthetics back into his game? Like, instead of just seeing defensive might, we could see something like, you know, clean, clear passes, cutting through teams, opening teams up, that amazing goals from your strikers and attackers.
Let's look at this season. Let's look at this season. This season has had the most 1-0 wins and has had the most 0-0 draws in the history of the Premier League in the last 5 seasons. You know what that means? Teams are harder to score against.
Yeah,
that's
teams are harder.
So when teams are harder to score against, it means teams are harder to play against. If teams are harder to play against, it is tough to see those type of football they are talking about. Unless you have Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona, Pele on your team. You have special guys. Unless you have special players that can dribble through, flair, and do all of that, you're not going to see that type of football going forward. Because teams are, look, we're talking about teams that have coaches like Ariola. You know, we're talking about these are top coaches too. So the levels have changed from back in the day where it was Wenger and Ferguson, who were the two best, and every other person were just beer drinking coaches that we could just steamroll the league. You can't steamroll the league anymore. So if you're talking about the football style, it's
Monk says he says more low blocks than
any other season. Yep, more low blocks than any other season.
Big up to you, Seth Monk. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bro. Big up to you.
Yeah. And that tells you why the football looks that way. That tells you why we had to learn how to use set pieces to break down teams and score from set pieces. Because when you play a low block, you're most likely going to concede a lot of corners. Because
were we over reliant on it though?
No, because teams were playing a low block and conceding corners. So why shouldn't I learn how to use the corner? You're saying over reliant. I'm trying to score. You're playing the low block. You're conceding the corner. I'll be stupid to not learn how to use the corner to score against you, because when I come again, you're going to play your low block and you're going to concede a corner. So I'm not playing to win a corner. No, you're giving me corners. In fact, Newcastle had more corners than us this season. I think we have like the 3rd or 4th most corners. We didn't even have the most corners, but we were effective in using our corners. So when people say, well, over-reliance, no, it's not over-reliance. It's me accessing and saying, well, if this is a way to score against you, since you don't want to come out and play, well, here you go. I'm going to score. Teams that came out and played against us, the Atletico Madrids in the first leg of the league phase of the Champions League, the Bayern Munichs that came out, Inter Milan 3-1. We were whooping big teams 3-1, 4-1
in the Champions League, though.
Yeah, we're beating teams even in the Premier League. When Leeds came and tried their nonsense, we gave them 3-0. We gave Aston Villa 4-1. Aston Villa is they're no schmucks, because they opened up and they played. They didn't play a low block, but most teams, if you go look at the chart, Arsenal has played against the most low blocks this season. Like, we're literally on the chart, standing alone on our own at the top, and every other person is in the middle.
Yeah.
Just to tell you how teams come and set up against us. So now, going forward next season, I expect that the football will be.
But again, it's his job to break these teams down, though. Anyway,
I know, but if you're saying it's his job to break them down, and then he breaks them down with a set piece, then you complain about the set piece. It's his job to break them down, right? Okay, it's my job to break you down. I'm trying to break you down, conceding the corner. Then I learn how to use the corner to break you down and score a goal. Then you complain and say you're reliant on corners to break me down. Well, okay, so what do you want me to do? You really just want to shit on me at this point. You don't want me to do anything. You want me to do it the way you want it done, which is dribble 5 players and score a goal. You know, yeah. So
but going forward, see. But again, this is an individual thing now, Dayo.
Going forward,
do you want to keep winning trophies in that way, where you need to use your defensive assets to actually do the job, or do you want to see aesthetics back into our game? Do you want to see 1 or 2 players take more risk in the game? Do you want to see fast-paced counter-attacks? Do you want to see amazing hold-up play? Do you want to see a striker who can give us 25, 30 goals in a season? Is it possible from next season? Do you want to see that?
What I want to see is, I want to see a winning team. And because teams are set up against us, styles make fights. This whole idea that we don't play good football is a lie. We scored the 2nd most goals in the Premier League right now. As bad as everybody says our attack is, we've scored the 2nd most goals right behind Man City. They've only scored 6 goals more than us.
Yeah,
As
but
much
how
as
did you score the goals?
hold on.
Again,
Let me finish.
scoring the goals and
Let me
winning is not the
let me
same
let
thing
me
as
let me let me
aesthetics of
let
the
me
game.
finish, right? Let me finish again.
Dayo, do you
Yes,
understand what I'm
aesthetics,
talking about?
I get what you're
That
saying.
goals, that goals and winning games and getting
I
points
don't
on
care.
the
I
board
don't care much. Listen, I
isn't
don't
the
care much.
same thing as
Listen,
aesthetics and
I
how
don't
you
care much.
play in a
I
game.
don't care
That's what
much
I'm
for
talking
aesthetics.
about. I'm
And
not
that's
saying it matters, but I'm just saying that in
and
terms of aesthetics, is that coming back in any time?
and that's why
Anytime.
that's what I'm answering you. I don't care about aesthetics. We did it in 22-23. Free flowing football, best team, 50 goals by December, blah 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 blah. Fast pace, counter did. What did it earn us? Nothing. I don't care
Nothing.
about how entertaining you are. I care about you being the team that knows what you need to do against every team and how they set up against you, and you win. Right? So if it means that the team is going to open up and you're going to play good football, which we saw this season against the Bayerns, we played very, very good. Against teams that opened up against us, that we Aston Villa, we outplayed Fulham. See how we played against Fulham. You open up, we'll play good football, and we'll show you Pepe. I know we have that in our locker, but as a team, I like how dynamic we are, that we mold ourselves to who we're playing just to get the win and get out of there. We've sustained 13 1-0 wins across all competitions this season, where we beat a team by 1-0 and held on to it. Last season, do you know how many points we dropped from winning positions? Last season, we had 14 draws. We had 6 games where we played with 10 men. This season, we've not had one red card. We've changed the things that made us lose games. We've changed that, and fans are still complaining.
We changed some of the culture.
And fans are still complaining about, and still go, well, and it's not fans, it's rivals. Rivals literally know how to bait Arsenal fans. Arsenal is winning, and then they start talking about how the football looks. The football is now boring. Let's change the narrative from you can't get it over the line to it's boring football. Let's just make sure
it make sense.
So what about the 19 other teams? The league is so boring because of Arsenal. Then don't watch Arsenal. Go watch the other teams and tell me how how interesting it is. Go watch the other teams and tell me. I was listening to a stream and somebody said, "Oh, the PGMO really likes trying to help Arsenal. Arsenal has not gotten one red card this season." And you know what I said? Do you know what I said? Do you know what I said, Claude? I said, so has 2 other teams, Brighton and Manchester City, have also not gotten any red card this season. I don't hear you talking about them. I don't hear you talking about them. I hear you talking about Arsenal, though. I'm making it seem like they're trying to favor Arsenal.
But wait. Has officiating been fair to us this season, though? Because Dayo, 2 seasons ago, bro. Bro, you were on full swing, with that excuse about referees, coming breathing down hard on our necks,
That wasn't what I was saying. That wasn't what I was saying.
And all that stuff.
That's not what
you give us an excuse in.
That wasn't
bro,
what I said.
you came to the channel, bro. You've forgotten that we always do shows.
No.
Me and we're doing shows, bro.
Listen,
you
said I didn't
say things like that. But bro, it's not a crime if you say things like that.
No. My words. I want to quote what I said.
It's not a crime if you say.
No. The video.
I really think that we've been hard done over the years with referees' decisions, bro.
I'm going to say
VAR, everything, even with referees, they've been hard on us. But wouldn't you say that this season that we've gotten away with some certain kind of things? Like,
so
look at that Kai Havertz challenge.
I'm going to say
just the other day. I'm a referee. Yeah, I referee. I ref in the Finnish league. Yeah, I ref in the 3rd league. I'm an helper in the second division. Yeah, I ref in the 3rd and 4th divisions in the Finnish league. Yeah, and bro, you see that Kai Havertz challenge? That's a red card.
I agree with you, but
and again, I hear it. Some referees call it, some refs don't call it.
That's not even what I want to. That's not even what I want to say.
But again, we got away with it. I know referees that will give that as a clear red card. In fact, a straight red card. Yeah. Dayo, this is what I'm asking you. Dayo, this is what I'm asking you. Do you believe it that we got away with some certain decisions?
I'm going to say, and I'm going to answer you. It wasn't only Arsenal. The PGMOL, and this is what I said last time you talked about referees, and you took my words out of context.
I like that. I like Dayo people.
They are the most inconsistent people that I know. I keep complaining about them and not the people that they punish. I don't blame Manchester United for the calls that did not get the Doku drop kick from last season that they did not give a card for. There's been many that we can look over the years for and say this and this and this. The ones they did to us, the ones they called for us, they called against us. The PGMOL is inconsistent. They lack the consistency of good refereeing. And some of them you get, some of them you don't get. The day before, Bernardo Silva was supposed to get a red card. He didn't get it. I don't hear people talking about that. But they want to talk about Kai Havertz the next day. This is on the PGMOL. If they gave that red card, I call it a red card. It is. I know what it is. I expected a red card, and they didn't give it. And I'm like, this is how inconsistent these people are. So I'm not going to sit here and say I got good calls. Arsenal got away with murder. No. We got handed a PGMOL that is inconsistent across the board with every single team. The day before, there was a Bernardo Silva thing that did not go through. The other one of Mbeumo.
He punched the leg. He punched the leg of a player. People. He punched the leg of a player. No red card. Exactly. How about that?
Hold on. Mbeumo catching Mbeumo. Ola, catching the ball against Arsenal.
Exactly. Oh,
rolling the ball in the 18. That wasn't given, and the guy said, "I lie, I steal, I cheat." The next day, he was joking. And nothing else. So I take what you give me. So when you don't give me a penalty against Nottingham Forest, and then you say, "Oh, I'm not going to call a red card for Kai Havertz," you're an inconsistent bunch of referees. I'll take it, but I'm not going to sit here and then try and make it look like Arsenal benefited so much, like other teams haven't benefited this season from referee calls. It's not an Arsenal thing. This is not about us. This is about the PGMOL. And when you make it about us, you make it sound like we were benefited and we were given something. Meanwhile, other teams also benefited from it. It's the same way when people talk about the red card. They say Arsenal did not get any red card this season. City has not gotten any red card this season. Brighton has not gotten any red card this season. So while we're sitting here and highlighting Arsenal's one, like it's something that the PGMOL has done for us, we've not gotten any red card. That's why we won the league. That is grossly unfair. Everybody has to be measured on the same.
And it's not true. It's not true. They're lies.
Everybody has to be measured on the same yardstick.
I agree with you.
So everybody's benefited and been had done by PGMOL, and I'll take whatever they give me, because again, when they gave Declan Rice a red card for just touching the ball, everybody told me to shut up and not complain. When they did it to Trossard against Man City, everybody told me to shut up and not complain. When Martinelli was given 2 yellow cards back to back for just first tackle and just kicking the ball out and giving a straight red, everybody told me to shut up and not complain. Now that they are now inconsistent and not giving Kai Havertz a red card for a tackle that is a red card, tell me to shut up and not complain. Don't tell me to complain. I'm not going to play ball that way. You have to be consistent across the board, because when they are wrong, they are wrong. When they are right, they are, it is what it is.
It is what it is, isn't it? See, Dayo, I mean, see, bro, there is no, hey, look at how are you?
Say hi.
See, people, we've got the kid, Dayo's kid. Hey, how are you?
You gotta go now. Say bye-bye.
See,
Bye-bye.
See, Dayo, I mean, in this fan base, I mean, due to the reasoning that Mikel Arteta did not win a major trophy, we're very divided about the manager. Many people said, hey, he should leave this season if he doesn't win a trophy. Dayo, he's won the Premier League. Let's say he bumps in the final. We'll still talk about that Champions League final anyway. Let's say he bumps in that Champions League final. He only wins this Premier League title. I love the Premier League. In fact, I wanted the Premier League title, even more than the Champions League, because I know how hard it is to go 38 games. How hard it is to win, in those 38 games and win the league. It's not easy. That's why we've not won it, in 22 seasons. That's why I wanted us to reestablish ourselves as champions of England, and in due course, you would challenge in the Champions League, and if you're good enough, you win it. It's just like Chelsea. When they started, when Abramovich came, they first won the domestic cups first, won the league, and then went on to win the Champions League. Same thing with City. They dominated locally. After that, got a more better team, and then launched a big assault on the Champions League, and they got it. Same thing with Arsenal. I don't really care about the Champions League. If we redeem ourselves and win the Premier League, in no time we will actually win the Champions League. But Mikel Arteta,
we've redeemed ourselves.
Exactly, we've already. I mean, bro, we've already redeemed ourselves already. And bro, we could actually be having a double this season. But Ola,
Yeah.
this is but Dayo, this is the thing. Yeah, I keep calling you Ola because of a lot of the fight week
Ola,
shows.
yeah.
You remember
Yeah, no, I was
he
here.
was asking for his filler.
His filler.
So
I have my filler
yeah,
here.
Efun Baba filler, Baba.
I have to get new orders in me. You know, it's handmade. Hold on.
So yeah. So see, people, yeah. So it is what it is. All these criticisms, yeah, about Arsenal. I'm really looking at it from the standpoint of Mikel Arteta. That's the style he wants to play, and he has gotten us over the line. But we still need those changes to come. But Dayo, the changes is what I'm talking about. Yeah, in our team that we have now going forward. Yeah, what would you like to see change? Which personnel do you want to see come into the football club? Mostly now that I've heard that Arsenal will become the richest club in England when we release our financials in the next financial end year.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think I just want to upgrade on certain positions. The players that will suit those positions is what I care about. I'm not looking at big names. I'm looking at the player that suits the profile of what we're looking for. So left wing, definitely we have to upgrade on the left wing. That's left wing for sure. That's a that's a given because Martinelli and Trossard, both of them together for me are one winger. You know, over 38 games, both of them are just one winger. Like I need somebody who I'll keep either of Martinelli or Trossard as the backup left winger, but I'll need to get somebody who's up there. You know, who can come in and get the job done. That's number one. Number two, I need to get a striker. Gabriel Jesus will be leaving, so I'll get a striker to replace him.
Okay.
In defense,
What striker though? That's an interesting one.
The profile of striker that I'll be looking for is someone that can play off the left and play as a striker as well, so that I can have a auxiliary left winger as well, so that in case
you're talking of Alvarez then.
Yeah, somebody that can play off the left and can play as a striker, can also drop down, receive the ball. Someone like Havertz. Havertz does it more on the right hand side. Havertz comes down, plays more on the right hand side, drops down, gets in the box, creates spaces, scores.
So you're not looking at someone like a Victor Osimhen, someone who's an out and out goal scorer, a goal poacher.
The reason I'm not doing that is because I still have Gyökeres, who I think this season, for all it's worth, has been able to kind of find his feet, and he's actually a goal scorer. That's who Gyökeres is. Gyökeres is not it's already have somebody who knows where to be in the box. If you notice, a lot of his goals where he knew where to be in the box.
Although he struggled at the first part of the season.
He had to. He's coming from a different league. I have to give him some leeway. I don't see people giving Florian Wirtz any leeway. They say Florian Wirtz needs time. Florian Wirtz needs time to blend. But Gyökeres needs to just come and start scoring. Like, really, what are we doing? When it's other teams, they're willing to say
There's a different standard for Arsenal, isn't it? There's a different standard for Arsenal, isn't it?
Exactly. So that's why, for me, getting the Victor is like having Gyökeres. Like, I'm not saying Gyökeres is as good as Victor. No, Victor is better, but I already have a Gyökeres. So I'm going to get another type of striker. I'll get a different profile of striker. And that I think would be, because again, I was listening to what's his name, Diego Simeone speak about Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Diego Simeone made a statement about Arsenal. Now you need to understand, coming from a manager like Diego Simeone, who the whole world agrees is probably the most best defensive manager of all time. Him and Mourinho, right? With that mentality and the football that they play. For the guy to sit there and say, I've played Arsenal 3 times this season. I played them in the league phase. I played them 2 legs over. And I can tell you that they are the most balanced team. He used the word balance. He said they are the most balanced team. They may not have all the best players, but they are the most balanced team and the most difficult team to play. But I want a balanced team. The issue is most fans are still trying to do the nostalgia thing of the days of Henry, the days of Van Persie, the days of Alexis Sanchez. Oh, we need one of those. We're not that club anymore. We're back to the days of George Graham. We're back to the days of one. Yes, we are. That's what we're back to. And until we accept that fact, we're going to keep criticizing what this manager does. And going forward, he's going to win a lot. This team, adding the right pieces, they're going to win a lot. They are going to win a lot, And when that begins to happen, people are going to just have to suck it up and just accept the system the way it is.
And just accept it. See, yeah, Dayo, see, look at what Seth Monk said. He said rival fans only want to batter. They know the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah, they do.
See, yeah, when you look at the terrain out there, yeah, how does rival fans perceive Arsenal? Bro, I think they really hate us, bro. Yeah, we do it in a certain way. Problem. You don't get over the line. It's an issue. Okay, you bottle it. Problem. A Man City plant, bro. There's no one can tell me anything. That guy with the bottle, that Man City fan with the bottle, they planted that guy there just to
No, no,
just
no, no.
to
I think what
rile
it is.
Arsenal fan, bro.
No, no,
That guy
I
was
don't think
planted that,
it's,
bro. The man came out with the bottle, bro. They kind of hate, they kind of
no, no.
slagging off,
So
bro. That we
can
get,
I?
but like, how do you see it? How do you see it? Do
The
you think
bottle, the
it's
bottle.
hate or no? I'm talking of how does rival fans, yeah, how they look at Arsenal, how they look at us, bro. Yeah, and right now we've won the title, but there's still excuses. They're trying to plug holes in what we've done. Look at Gary Neville. Look at what he's saying out there. Look at John
Yeah,
Obi Mikel. Look at what man is saying. He's saying he's never gonna even congratulate Arsenal for
yeah. I
winning
don't.
the
But
trophy because
we
he doesn't
don't
realize
need.
how he won.
Listen, we
He
don't
thought
need
we're
their
cheated, bro.
no, we don't need
So
their
so
congratulations though. So here's my take on it. Rivals will be
mm,
rivals. Rivals will always just try to put you down. It is what the game is about, rivalry. I will even when I was not winning, I was talking shit about Liverpool, Man City, and teams that are winning. So let's be honest about it. That's what rivalry is about. That's what banter is
mm,
about. I get it. I get the banter. I understand the banter. I accept the banter. Let me address one particular one, then I'll address the whole thing. The Man City guy with
yeah,
the bottle, I don't think it was the plant. I think he wanted to banter Arsenal, which is a thing that fans do. He came up with the whole bottle idea and then they turned it into a whole big thing. They saw an opportunity and they used it. But guess who's laughing last? You understand? At the end of the day, this is why you've got to figure out, like, at the end of the day, what banter is and what. Now, those type of banter I can take. It's the lies I cannot take. And it's the lies from mainstream media and the people who are supposed to be speaking the truth about the sport. So
yeah,
when we talk about the hate, it's generated by the media. You'll see the same BBC writer who wrote about Liverpool and their set pieces and how set pieces can be a tool for Liverpool to win the Premier League, and then write the same thing for Arsenal and say Arsenal is boring the league and making the league boring by scoring by set pieces. Same reporter. I have those articles. I have the receipts. Same reporter, same person. When he writes it about Liverpool, it's the new set piece kings are here. Da, 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 da. When he writes about Arsenal, they write in a negative tone. And why do you do that?
negative.
When you do that, you then allow millions of people read it and they're like, yeah, Arsenal is boring. So it's the mainstream and the lies that they tell. Again, you will see the lies. Mikel Arteta is such an annoying manager. Can you tell me one thing he has done that has annoyed you? They can't say it. He steps out of his technical area. So does every manager. We've seen Jurgen Klopp fall down and slide. We've seen Mourinho
True.
do all kinds of crazy things. We've seen Pep
Mm,
Guardiola scratch his head and nobody said anything. But Mikel stepping out of his technical area is the worst thing the manager can do. I asked them, I said, can you tell me one thing Mikel Arteta does that any other manager has not done?
mm,
And everything you
mm.
mocked that man for, every single thing you mocked him for, the ball blights, playing, you shall not walk alone at the pitch, pickpocketing, everything you blamed him for has worked out, and now he has won the Premier League. So maybe his madness and his geniusness
Now,
was really right. Maybe all of
mm,
you were the ones that were blind to the fact that there was a thing that was going to happen that he was working towards. Maybe
yeah,
that's it. Maybe you can accept that and just hold up your hand and say, I was wrong about this guy. I was wrong
yeah.
about this club. Again,
Mhm.
mainstream media lies. That's the part. That's the one I can't do. Banter is going to always happen. I don't think it's hatred. I just think it's rivalry. If you do well,
Yeah.
they'll find a way to shit on it. If you don't do well, even better
So
for
you
them.
don't think that Man City dude was a planted,
I don't think so
comedian to just
because
just
I think that
rile Arsenal fans and make us bottle it?
hold on, but that's what banter is about. Banter is to rile you up. That's the essence of
Mm,
banter. The essence is not like
mm.
banter is not supposed to make you feel good. Banter is supposed to be like, I'm bantering you to trigger you. So if I call you a bottle job and I pull out a bottle and I do all these things and I annoy you, that's my job is done. My
Mm,
job is done. Like so it's this is where the fans can get upset at it, the fans can get riled up and all that. This is where the players themselves should zone in and be like, hey, we don't care about your banter. We're just going to be focused on the pitch. And guess what? Now that we won the league, see Eberechi Eze, he's responding to him.
Yeah.
You've seen that video?
Yeah.
People are responding now. Everybody's, so again, and that's the banter now. We can respond back.
That's the banter
so,
now.
But mainstream media, I need to always underline that when they start to tell those lies, because again, you hear things like, can they sustain this? Who are they going to buy in the summer? I don't think Arsenal will buy anybody. Like, why are we talking about that? We just won the league. Why aren't you talking about who City is going to buy? Why aren't you talking about who Maresca is going to buy when he comes? Why aren't you talking about who Alonso is going to buy now that
why does it have to be Arsenal though?
Why does it have to be?
We just won the league.
And I get it. On easy lies the head that wears the crown. You talk about us because we're at the top, but then it is when you try to talk about us in a vacuum of lies, and then you publish those vacuum of lies. You basically come up with different things, because I'm looking at the same journalist writing about Arsenal and writing about Liverpool or writing about City. Like, you will hear the way they say it. Oh, so what next for City now that Maresca is coming in? Maresca has also worked under Pep, so this is going to be great. But when it comes to Arsenal, they'll say, can Mikel Arteta sustain this continuous win? What are we doing here? What are we doing?
They're pushing the bar so high, bro.
He showed you that he can do it.
Standards, isn't it?
And here we are, where they try to mock him for coming second 3 times in a row, but then they say Pep is the greatest manager of all time. So somebody's coming second to the greatest manager of all time, literally coming pushing the guy. First time by 5 points, second time by 2 points, third time by 2 points, or Liverpool was the one that got it the third time, and you still want to mock that person. Like, for me, that is stupidity. And mainstream media does that, and they create that narrative, and people run with it. So I don't fall into the category of allowing them to push me to slander my club because of their lies. No.
Should Mikel Arteta be given a new contract? Or Dayo? And how many years, Dayo? Yeah. Dayo, how many years should be given to Mikel Arteta winning of this championship win?
I think that if the way I would do it, I don't know how many years is left on his contract now, but I would give him a 5-year rolling contract consistently. Why? Because I think that it takes that long to be able to replenish the team and bring in new players. Again, we look at the age of our players. The average age is about 25 now. We've got the 27, 28-year-olds. The Declan Rices are getting up there. The Trossards are the oldest ones, and they're leaving. The Norgards are the oldest, they're leaving. We now have some more younger players like Max Darman, who evens out the age, but majority of our players are 23, 24, 25. On a 5-year rolling contract, by the time they're all turning 29, 30, and they're about to leave, we would have brought in a new batch of people. If I need to change a manager at that time, I'll have fresh new players and a new manager coming. So I would base the contract based on that time frame. And if he doesn't perform in 5 years or in the next 2 years out of the 5, even if I need to terminate his contract, I pay out the 3 and bring in a new manager. I will still have my key players at that point in time. The Declan will be there, So
definitely a new contract has to be given to him. I agree. See, people, I hold my hands up. Even if I didn't believe in the manager, I said we're going to win the league this season. Despite the manager. People like Dayo would now understand what I mean now, because the other time when I was on the show this year with Dayo was saying, what am I talking? That I don't believe in the manager, but I'm saying we can win the league. Dayo, this is what I meant by that the boys can still carry us on to win the league, and they have done that right now. So we can
Arteta is 100. He's majority percentage responsible for this league win. Yes, the boys did their job, but they did it.
But again, you just have to give it to him, though. But again, I still do
because we can't shit. Hold on, we can't
in the fire to do that.
I don't know. Hold on. You can't put all this 3, 4, 5 years of calling him a manager that can't get it over the line. He's always second, and Arteta out, and then when he does it, it's the boys that did it.
No. I didn't say that. No. I wasn't the one that said that. He showed us that he couldn't get over the line.
No. My point
it wasn't us. It was he who showed he couldn't get over the line. For the past seasons he's been here. Hold on.
Again, my point is, let's call it 6 seasons. Yeah, I get it. Let's just make it sound really bad. The first 3 seasons, he was doing what? He was rebuilding the entire squad. He took a club that had indiscipline. We had players smoking after training. We had club captains that were breaking rules. He literally transformed this club from the mud in the first 2-3 years, and as soon as he got his own players in, he's been challenging the best manager in our time, in our lifetime, the best manager. He's been challenging that guy consistently for 3 years, and yet we say he's not able to get it over the line. Do you know how hard it is to beat a Pep Guardiola? But we want to make it sound like it's supposed to be a snap of a finger. And this is a young manager that is in his first job. So I was willing to give him time and context to say, let me see how, if you improve next season, and I see that you're really pecking on. Do you know that for the longest time we didn't beat City until recently when Mikel Arteta got over that hump and we started trashing City?
True.
And we're not afraid to go head to head with them anymore. We used to be afraid to play against City. All those things needed to have been worked out. I get it. I'd have been happy if we had won some things along the line, but we did. And I'll tell you some of the things that we won. We won an FA Cup and we won Community Shields that everybody shat on. But now that Pep Guardiola is about to leave, they're all saying Pep has won 20 trophies. 3 of those trophies are Community Shields. 3 of them are FA Cups. So let's remove 6 trophies from his 20 and say Pep has only won 14. Because if Arteta cannot have his FA Cup and his Community Shield as trophies, Pep cannot have his as well. It has to be even across the board.
It has to be even.
So the way I look at it is, I can't blame the manager for all the losses. And then when he finally wins, I say, oh, it's the boys that did it.
It's the boys that did it. Well, anyway, I hear you. But again, where I was coming from, it's not just the boys, it's the idea behind it. It's that we had, we had this squad depth. Arsenal haven't had this kind of squad depth that we've had in recent seasons, bro. Even in the last 10 years.
And the most, we
had this kind of squad depth acquired, bro.
Yeah, we had squad depth and we had the most
luxury. Yeah, imagine the luxury if Ben White is injured, then you can bring in a Mosquera. If Timber, if Timber is there, you have Benjamin White. If Benjamin White is not there, you can bring in a Mosquera to also fill in also in the centre back areas. You have Marsh Lewis Kelly. You have Calafiori who will also play in that. Mosquera can even also play in that position.
I want to say something.
That's what I was saying. It's not just the boys, though. It's about what we acquired in the summer.
Everybody had a part to play in this. Everybody had a part to play in this. Andrea Berta had his part to play as a sporting director. He did a good job. Mikel Arteta has been able to manage a large squad, even though this has been the most injuries we've ever had. Arsenal had 32 injuries, the highest we've ever had, if I'm not mistaken.
True.
I don't think we've ever had this many with a large squad. Another thing that you must give kudos to Mikel Arteta for is when people say the boys. Do you realize that there were times that we played the league this season? We played matches this season with 5 to 6 new players on the pitch that joined Arsenal in the summer. And when people talk about it, they make it sound like he did nothing. There were times when we played where we had Nkapie, Mosquera in the back, 2 new signings. In midfield, Zubimendi and Eze with Declan Rice. So that's 4. You had Noni Madueke on the right, and then you had Victor Gyökeres. You had 6 new players out of your 11 on the pitch.
Yeah.
In multiple games. But when people want to talk about other teams, they're like, oh, Liverpool are in a transition. Their players need to blend in. Oh, City are going to a transition. They all got Maguire and everybody. Arsenal is playing 6 new players. Where is our transition?
Where is our transition?
Yeah. Where is the leeway to say, oh, it's true. Where is the leeway to say, oh, you drew this game?
It's true, mate. It's true, bro.
Because you played with 6 new players. I don't hear anybody saying you drew with Wolves because you played with 6 new players. I hear them say City lost the game to Bournemouth because the guys who made the mistake on the pitch are the guys who have not won the league before with City. They are new players. They've not blended yet. Everybody gives everybody else an excuse, but when it comes to Arsenal, they just want to shit on us and ignore the fact that we're also going through what they're going through.
Yeah, look at what thanks for that trophy now says. He says, well, those are some new quality players that he would have never gotten if it wasn't because of Berta. So quality makes some managers look good as well.
Again, I hear you on that, and you're right. Fair enough. Quality does make some managers look good, but we can look at the manager that bought quality. And when I say quality, we'll give you the names. He bought Alexander Isak. He bought Ekitike. He bought what's this guy's name in right back? He bought Kirkes.
You're playing with Dayo, bro.
Hold on. He bought Verts. These are quality players. They did make the manager look good. Let's stop this. Let's stop this, right? Because again, I think this narrative to try to make it seem like the quality of the players is what made Arteta look good. Yes, he could have misprofiled those players and look bad, but he did not. That's his job as a manager. He gets quality. They're like ingredients. He gets quality and he cooked with them. He found a way to cook a meal that most people did not like. They didn't like the meal, but the meal was sold, and the meal brought the check, and the check is the Premier League. At the end of the
Premier
day,
League.
at the end of the day, I give kudos to the boys for following the instructions and doing what the manager asked them to do. You know how I know Arsenal fans, a lot of us are hypocrites, right? A lot of us, and I use the word us, myself inclusive. I hear us when we blame this manager and say, on release Eze, you're making Eze too rigid. Release Saka, you're not letting Saka play the way Saka wants to play. Arteta makes Arsenal play rigid football. We always say this, right?
Yeah.
And that rigid football has won us the Premier League now, but you don't want to give the manager the kudos for that rigid football anymore. You now want to say the boys were the ones that did it. How did they do it when you said they were playing rigid? How did they do it when you said they were being controlled? How is it them? Like this argument, this thing is, this is why I lose my mind when I'm speaking to Arsenal fans. I'm like, yo.
See, Dayo, because this is the final one, because of course we'll have to leave. And I have to release you because 1 hour, 20 minutes on this second special. People, the What Now tour. People, this is, I enjoyed this, but the one I did with Igal yesterday, because you guys know my style and Dayo's style, it matches, we're always trying to get at each other, and it's very, very good in a healthy way. This is how to do a show, where you have back and forth arguments and Brother Dayo, it brings out the best in me too. So, see, we have Thanks saying this. He says, that's true, Dayo, but for Liverpool, it's different. There are certain things Slot could have adjusted to continue the success from last season for Liverpool, regardless if Trent left.
Yes, but you just said it right now. You just said it yourself. There's certain things that Slot could have adjusted, and Slot did not adjust them because Slot is not a genius manager that knows how to use the ingredients that he has been given. Mikel Arteta was given ingredients, and he knew exactly what to tweak, when to bring Lewis Kelly into a game, when to bring Max Daumann into a game. He knew when Mosquera could play. In fact, there was a game where he brought in Zubimendi and subbed Zubimendi again. Mikel Arteta has changed from the Mikel Arteta that he was, where he was stubborn and rigid and would stay with the system. But we refuse to see it because we just want to see him through that old lens. This is a manager that consistently this season has evolved how he plays against every team. And most teams play us in the low block, but he evolved how he played against most teams. Hence why we were able to win the most games. Hence why we were able to concede the least goals. Hence why we were able to score the second most goals and go on to win the Premier League.
True. He refused to play MLS in his main position. He ran out of ideas.
And that is another false narrative again. MLS, we all know, is a midfielder, but MLS main position that he's played for Arsenal senior team was left back. Throughout the season, last season, it was left back. Again, you're not going to automatically just switch him to the midfield. The only reason you're going to get a chance, MLS, to go into the midfield is when the senior players who trusted all season have been playing there and winning games for us are not able to perform. Then we can bring you in. And again, they have to train that in training. This idea that he ran out of ideas is a lie. This is what you call player management. Zubi is tired. This person is tired. All right, MLS, you get your chance now. When we gave MLS the chance to play in midfield in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup, he didn't look good. Let's be honest, at the beginning of the season, he didn't look good. He did play in midfield in the FA Cup and Carabao, and he didn't look good there. He struggled. So again, when you struggle, you don't instill confidence in the manager to play you in big games. You're going to have to prove it in training, and eventually the time will come. And it was a good timing. As Zubi was getting tired, MLS came in. Zubi gets some rest now. MLS is going to drop back to left back, and that's the way it's going to work. Let's be honest about it. So it's not about
Set Monk. I will talk to my brother Dayo. Yeah, we have to get back doing shows together, man. We just have to separate just for a little bit, so let's win the title. So now we're back. So, I'll talk to him, even if it's every 2 weeks, we'll be doing something. But we have our individual channels. You can sub to his channel. His channel is The Gunner's Edge. Yeah, I would put, after the show, I would add the link down there for you guys. And, of course, subscribe to my channel too, Tony Claude Gunner TV. So, see, people, the final one before Dayo goes. Dayo, Champions League final.
Do you want
Dayo, Champions League final. Dayo, there's a question that was asked by the Waffle Don. Are we going to win the Champions League? See, Dayo, there's
I'm going to say it here before you continue. I'm going to say here 3-1 to the Arsenal. I'm not joking. I'm going to say it
yeah,
again. 3-1 to the Arsenal Champions League final. I'm going to say it the third time so that you know that it's 3 goals that I'm talking about. 3-1 to the Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say. That's
people,
all I'm going to say.
3-1, 3-1. That's what our Prophet Dayo says here. He says 3-1 to the Arsenal. Big ups, Cara Harrison. Big ups. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Yes, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the Gunners Edge. On YouTube. Subscribe to Tony Cloud Gunner TV. Yeah, this is my special, and this is my second guest on my What Now tour. Of course, Dayo of the Gunners Edge.
Can I just quickly say this? I hear you, man. You know, the best way to win is trying to get lucky, go first. No, this is not about lucky anymore. These boys are going there to play with freedom. The Arsenal, because we won the Premier League, Arsenal is not going to play the Champions League final like they're trying to save their season. Let's say we lose the Premier League. Let's say we had lost our games and we play Crystal Palace and we lost the game and then City won on points or something. Then the way we would play in the Champions League final would be we have to win or this is do or die. And do or die will put pressure on us to the point where PSG will get one over on us. Last season, PSG were very lucky to get through. And I'll say it again. They were marginally better than us. We played them without Thomas Partey, one of our better midfield, and we played them without Gabriel. So when people talk about it, they should talk about it in full context. We didn't play with our strongest team in both legs, across both legs against PSG. And Donnarumma was in the form of his life. 3 different goals that we could have scored that Donnarumma saved, and we struck the bar. So let's not even make it sound like we did not get at them, right? This time around, you don't have Donnarumma. This time around, we have our complete squad. By the grace of God, nobody gets injured. Fingers crossed before the 30th. This time around, it's a one-off game. It's not 2-legged game. It's not at Parc des Princes. It's not at the Emirates. It's going to be at a neutral ground. This time around, we're also coming in there playing free-minded. We're not trying to save our season. We're just coming in there.
We're champions of England. Come on, Dayo. We're champions of England.
The football that we know how to play.
Champions.
And I guarantee you, this is where you're going to see the best of Arsenal football. Defensively, we're a team that knows how to defend, and offensively, this is where you're going to actually see, because we played careful all season, trying not to lose. At this point, we've already won the major, so that's what I think.
We're hearing lots of things coming out from the camp. We're hearing that Dembele is injured. We're hearing that Due has a little bit of a problem. Bro, is this mind games or you think?
No. He was injured.
The final, this guy just show up.
No. Dembele was taken out of a game against Paris, their local rivals that won 2-1 against them. In fact, they played their full squad and they lost 2-1 to their local rivals in Paris Saint-Germain. The last game that they played, and they played the full squad. Dembele got injured 25. I watched the game. Dembele got injured 25 minutes into the game. He was taken out, but he did make a statement today, and he says, "I'm fit. I'm okay. I'm better. I'm working towards it. I'll be ready for the 30th." So we're expecting him to be. I'm expecting him to be available. And if you say that Arsenal should play their senior team, I think the boys need to rest. They need a lot of rest. Let's play the young team. Let them relax. We can play one closed indoor game with a good team. We can plan something.
I don't mind. Let's put skeletons. Against Crystal Palace. We won the title. Let's just put skeletons down there and allow these boys get ready for the Champions League final.
I'll play Max Daumann in this game. I'll play Marley Salmon in this game. I'll play what's his name? What's my guy's name again?
How about Zubimendi? Are you gonna risk?
No, I'm gonna rest. I'm resting all my stuff. Zubimendi is resting. Declan Rice is resting. I'm playing what's his name? Norgard. I'm playing Norgard. I'm playing I'm playing Norgard. I'm playing Noni Madueke. In defense,
Jesus should play.
Gabriel Jesus is playing. I'm gonna get
maybe a Martinelli.
Kai Havertz needs match sharpness. I'm going to play Kai Havertz. He needs match sharpness because I might need to bring him off the bench in the finals or something. Basically, I'm just going to let the players rest because I can always set up a game next week, just before in midweek, an indoor close game that is intensive for the players to be match sharp. So it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are going to fail their B team because they are going to be playing a Conference League final in 3 days after
in the next 2 days.
In the next 2 days. So why should I play my senior players against an inexperienced Crystal Palace second team where they'll tackle like crazy, and if they injure somebody, I'm in trouble. Like, why risk it?
No,
No, it's true because
no,
because the, because the
we
B
can't
team,
have that, bro.
yeah, the B
We
team is
can't
going
have
to want to the B team will want to prove themselves as Crystal Palace, and if they're playing
Yeah.
against Arsenal's A team and they overly commit to certain tackles or overly pressure the play, no, So I think about football differently. I have to consider my players' health, wealth first because once they're well, they can play better. So yeah, I'm resting on my major guys.
Dayo, final one before we go. Arsenal, yeah. Are we going into this Champions League final as massive underdogs? And again, it's not like I don't like the perfect underdog story. In fact, I like to go into this kind of matches, yeah, as the perfect underdog. I mean, look at those yesteryears in Istanbul when Liverpool went down there and smacked up AC Milan. I mean, of course, went through to penalties, but I mean, you saw what happened in Istanbul in that famous game in Istanbul. Yeah, went in there as massive underdogs against giants. I'm talking of Nesta. I'm talking of Kaka. I'm talking of all these giants in that AC Milan team and won them. Bro, are you looking at this matchup here against PSG as a big, 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 huge underdog story? And if it's an underdog story, by what margin do you think it's slightly higher or slightly lower in terms of comparing it with that Liverpool and AC Milan connection?
First and foremost, I don't think
we are.
I don't think it's a massive underdog story. I think it's a 51-49%. Very, very, very close margin. 51-49%.
You're the first person saying that.
51
You're
PSG.
You're the first person saying. Every other person is saying we're massive underdogs.
And I'll tell you why.
Give me reasoning to why you think we're not massive underdogs going to that matchup.
I think 51% to PSG and I think 49% to Arsenal, and I think it's fine margins. PSG has not played against a defense like Arsenal in Europe before. We have the best defense in Europe. Period. If you look at the Champions League run, we scored 20 goals and conceded 3 or 4 goals. If I'm not mistaken, we conceded 6 goals. PSG in the running to get to the final played 16 Champions League games. They scored 44 goals and conceded 22 goals. They conceded 50% of the goals that they scored, PSG. So they're a team that can be got at. Arsenal is a team that is hard to score against. We scored 20 goals and 23 goals or whatever it is in the running, playing 14 games because they played 2 extra ones since they were out of the top 8. And so when I look at that, I look at the best attack versus the best defense. That's where the 51-49 comes from. That's where the fine margins show. If we frustrate you and you're unable to score, and we know we can score somehow, we have our ways of scoring, and you are a team that can concede up to 50% of your goals, be rest assured that I believe strongly that defense wins you championship, attacks wins you games. This is a one-off game, and this is a championship game.
Igal said it yesterday, though. Igal said it yesterday. He said more defensive teams have actually won in the Champions League final than highly rated attacking teams, though.
Yes, again, and that's why for me, I think that we're also going into this game very chilled. We're not going with that pressure of we haven't won anything.
So we haven't won anything.
So we're coming in playing at our strength, which is we're a very solid defensive team. So Gabriel and Co are playing without any we've won. So we're playing, right?
We've won. We're champions of England.
So it is with that I say that before for me the margins were 60-40. But as soon as we won the Premier League, I turned it to a 59 to a 51-49 immediately in my head. I'm like,
just rose.
I'm like the because you have to realize the way I judge teams is, let's say a team is coming to the Emirates. I already give Arsenal 10%. Then there's 90% left to be split between you and that team. And if you split it down the way, 45%, 45, Arsenal takes 45 plus their 10, 55, they win that game. The other team has to win the 10% of Arsenal. In this case, we're going to a neutral ground. So both teams have 50-50 chance of winning. Now, when it comes to skill set, attack-wise, PSG is up here. Attack-wise, Arsenal is here. PSG is higher than Arsenal, right? I get it. Defense-wise, Arsenal is up here. PSG is here, defense-wise. So now we cancel out each other. We'll see who is going to break first. So I think margin. I think it's margin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dayo. See, people here today. You're my moderator. Please make sure you post the Gunner's Edge. Go and look for his channel, the Gunner's Edge. The Gunner's Edge. That post the channel down here. please, 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 I beg in the name of God, get it and post it down here so that people have been asking for it so that they can go subscribe to my brother's channel. People, I mean, see, yeah, Dayo, the people, they like you, my G, bro. They like you down here, bro. Bro, I beg, look what they do show. Baba, I beg. Even yourself,
no,
you see,
it's not me. It's
no,
not me
even
now.
yourself, you see our chemistry. The chemistry is there, Baba.
Let me put
You
it this
know
way, Claude.
our style match.
Claude, wait, Claude.
Baba,
Let me put
let's
it this
do
way.
shows.
Wait
Let's
now,
do
Wait.
shows. Come on.
Don't put me on the spot. Let me say something. You know that if you call me, I'll answer.
Yeah.
You know that if you call me,
Yeah.
There's not much, you know. See,
Yeah.
people, I want you people to hear him, and I want him to be on. He knows that if he calls me, if he tells me let's do shows on this day, this day. I was meant to go to the office today. I work from home because of the show. Yeah.
The show.
I work like no need to think about it's us now. It's I enjoy like you enjoy this, I enjoy this. This is my office laptop here. This is my office stuff. I just left it behind me here. All the things picking, I'll answer them when we finish. You understand? But again, like I said, for me, it's like, call me when let's make a plan, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking of creating a show with you. It doesn't have to be every
I'm going to say this.
Arteta
is not scared. That is a narrative created by the media, and the media, somebody said to me that Arteta is scared. That's why he played conservative football this year. I said, why can it not be? Why can it not be that Arteta had learned that him playing fancy football will not get him the result he wants? So he changed it. He realized that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity, and the man does not want to be an insane person. So he changed his
whereas he has won it in this way. So I mean,
so he's changed his style, and they called it scared.
He
and I'm like,
he has proven all these guys wrong.
It's such a
He has proven these guys wrong. I mean, I do shows with Lee Gunner. Lee Gunner is my guy. Shout out to him, bro. He's proven Lee Gunner wrong. He has proven Northside LDN wrong. He's made them look like clowns. Let's call people. Let's call a spade, bro. Arteta has slapped them in the face, bro. Let's call a spade. Yeah. Big up to Shane, my guy Shane, bro. Arteta. I mean, he hit you with a punch in the face.
I'll say this. I'll say
Shane. Yeah, Shane is a great guy. I have to invite him to the channel for the special people.
Let me put this out.
Big up to Shane. Lovely channel down there is doing great things. BBK
I don't know.
Arteta slapped you, bro. BBK Sport, he slapped you, bro. Jezza, Arteta slapped you. He slapped you, bro. Bro, big up to Jezza. Everyone knows I'm friends with Jezza. Big up Jezza, but we have to call a spade. Yeah, we were wrong on Mikel Arteta. Even me, I've done a complete 360. I don't want the manager gone. I want him to stay right now because he has won the Premier League. That's what I wanted, bro. I don't even care about the Champions League. I really care about the Premier League. I want them to be England champions so bad again, bro. Because I'm waiting for so long. 22 years, bro. Dayo, do you know what it means? Dayo, do you know what it means? Bro, I was still in Nigeria, bro. The last time. Oh my God, bro, it's crazy. 22 years.
I know, but here's what I want to say, right? This man has been at the helm of affairs for 6 years or 7 years now. The first 3 years, literally, he was just gutting the team and just getting everything together. And the last 4 years, he has. I want people to hear this clearly.
Thank you here today. Please, guys, subscribe to the Gunner's Edge. Subscribe to Tony Claude Gunner TV. Also, people,
in the last 4 years,
that, the Gunner's Edge.
Yeah. In the last 4 years, Mikel Arteta has challenged 3 times against arguably the greatest manager that we know of, and has come second. In fact, last year he superseded this great manager. The great manager was third, and his slot was first, and we were still second. And in those same 3 years, he's brought us back to the Champions League. The first year, as a rookie manager in the Champions League, got us to the quarterfinal. The second year in the Champions League, he got us to the semi-final. I want you to understand the difference of how progression is. A rookie manager that has never been to the Champions League gets us to the quarterfinal. The first time we get back to the Champions League after 7 years of not being in the Champions League. And in the third year of him going to the Champions League, he's gotten us to the final. But you hear all these people still trying to slander him, and I'm like, the journey is part of it, right? I hate the fact that we haven't won a major. I want a major, but if I'm going to be critical about someone, I have to be critical about the right things and not just generally just shit on the person. This is the same manager who, even though we came second, the first year we were 5 points below City. The second year was 2 points that City won by. Progression. Yeah. I hated the fact that we didn't win. I wanted us to win so badly. It hurt me. But I then realized I'm going up against the juggernaut. There's a few things missing. The club also realized where they made a mistake in sporting director, and they brought in an experienced sporting director who could come and do a job. And that guy came in and did his job. So Mikel Arteta,
and that's why we won the league.
So Mikel Arteta could up his level. And Mikel Arteta upped his level because he now has the right crew, the right team, the right people around him. And the players themselves bought into the idea and they ran. I watched an interview with Jurriën Timber and they asked him, when did you feel that you knew that you're going to win the league? He said, when we lost to Aston Villa, that's when I realized that we were going to win the league. Jurriën Timber said, when we lost to Aston Villa, that's when I looked at the boys and we knew. We said, this is it. We have to win. And this is why I don't like when people just criticize the players without actually going in depth to find out what these guys are saying themselves. A good example would be, I'll answer this Emery question now. Another good example would be, so that was Jurriën Timber's talk where he said, I knew that's when we're going to win the league when they lost Aston Villa. Would be Declan Rice, when Declan Rice said, it's not over. And people said he was being pretentious because he knew the camera was on him. The guy was speaking his truth at that very point. It's not over. I refuse to be the loser. And you want to mock him for that? That's what I want from my players. That's the passion I want. When you lose, I want you to get up and say, no, we're going to keep fighting. Because anything can still happen. And when my player is doing that and then you criticize him for showing passion, you're the one that is a dickhead then. That's the truth. You're going to sit here and change what the player is saying. You think he cares about, if he cares about the camera that much, he could have walked up to the camera and did this. It's not over yet. He was on the floor. Then he got up and held his captain. He shook his captain's arm after saying that and hugged him, and then they carried on. And you're going to sit there when players are showing passion for the club that they love and are giving 110%, and you're going to say, well, you potential, but just because they hadn't won a trophy. Screw you on the trophy that you want to win because you want to be able to banter, not because you want the club to really win a trophy. You just want to be able to say, I'm the champion and banter other people. If you genuinely want the club to win a trophy, then you criticize the club properly so that other rivals don't have the right to just shit on our club. That's number one. Number two, do I believe that Emery stayed and he had the same amount of money, his selection of players would have won us the league as well? I don't believe that because Emery had a 7-game bad run that we lost, got into the Europa Cup final.
Emery just won the Europa League, by the way.
Hold on. I agree, but Unai Emery has won the Europa League with 3 different clubs 5 times, and Arsenal was the only club he didn't win it when he got to the final. So if you've showed me that you could do it with other people and you come to me and you're unable to show it for me and do it for me, I don't think you're the right fit for me. I'm not saying you're not a good manager. I'm not saying you can't win it with another club. I'm just saying you're not the right fit for me. Just because I'm jollof rice is not everybody that likes me. Do you understand? Unai Emery is jollof rice. Everybody doesn't like jollof rice. Some people don't like spicy rice. You understand? So my point is, and you're saying the same amount of money, Unai Emery spent in 1 year, 2018 to 2019, 185 million was spent by Unai Emery. If we sat down and gave him the same number of years with the trajectory that he was going on, he would have spent roughly around what Arteta has spent. Now, I know you guys like to talk about Arteta's money, 1 billion over the last 6 or 7 years. That's roughly 175 million a year that Arteta is spending. So when you guys make it sound like Mikel Arteta is spending one crazy 1 billion, no. City have spent 500 million in the calendar year and spent another extra 80 or 90 million in January. What's the name? Liverpool spent 450 million, almost half a million, almost half the budget that Arteta has spent in 6 years. They spent it in one window. Tottenham has outspent Arsenal in the same time frame on players and are sitting down in relegation, fighting for their lives. Chelsea have spent double what Arsenal has spent in that same 6 years that you guys keep complaining about. So let's stop this money thing. Everybody spends money. Every team spends money. I'm not going to sit here and
spend money, and he didn't even guarantee them any success at all this season, bro.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and make Arsenal the target.
Chelsea have spent over £1 billion, over £1 billion on a project that hasn't won them the title in how many years?
Yep. Again, everybody's like, oh yeah, if he got the same amount of money, he did. He bought Nicolas Pepe, our most expensive player ever. He bought him for 77 million. He brought Nicolas Pepe, who literally did nothing. I mean, Unai Emery spent money in that first year. And this is what I like about the Cronkies. I think, again, people need to understand the ownership of Arsenal. The Cronkies took over in 2018. That's when they finally bought Arsenal and took over. And the Cronkies own the Nuggets, they own the Rams, they own some other Stanley hockey teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The Cronkies stick with
Colorado. They have Colorado
Avalanche. Yeah. The Cronkies stick with their people. For example, recently they fired their general manager and the coach of the Nuggets because the two of them were fighting. They don't want any drama in house. Both of you got to go. Both of them got fired, right? When they got the coach for the Rams, he was the assistant coach at the Chiefs. Nobody really knew who he was. They brought him to be the head coach of the Rams. They backed him for 4 or 5 years, and then they won the Super Bowl. And ever since then, they've been going back to back and struggling and playing well, and they're doing well. They're not the worst team anymore.
Thank you, Kara. I really appreciate that.
But then they won Super Bowl. This is how the Cronkies operate. So when the Cronkies came in and immediately they picked Arteta as their pick, I knew that they were going to back him and they're going to stay with him. But because they're family-owned business, they don't spend like conglomerates. They don't spend like Blueco. They don't spend like FSG. They don't spend like the Saudi Sheikh. Like, what are we saying? Man City has outspent everybody.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
You know. So again, you know, I don't do if, buts, and maybes. I like to do the facts that are on the table. Unai Emery, for what it was worth, you went on a 7-game bad run. He lost 7 games back to back. That was our worst run since 1992. We had not lost a game 7 times back to back since 1992. And then he goes into the final of the Europa and loses 4-1 to Chelsea. And you're telling me that I shouldn't fire that manager at that time?
Yeah.
But you're the people talking about standards. You want standards. Yeah, you want standards, but you wanted me to keep an Unai Emery that lost 7 games back to back and a 4-1 loss to Chelsea in the Europa Cup final that everybody said Unai Emery is the king of Europa. He wins it all the time. He wins it all the time. Forget it. If nothing else, you guys are going to win Europa under Unai Emery. And we get there and we saw the outcome. So yeah, I would not have kept him. And if I had to now go back,
and that's because you have standards. And that and that's because he has standards, yeah. If these guys can dish it, they have to also accept this too.
And when the Cronkies then decided that they were going to go with a young, inexperienced manager, I was afraid. I said, "What are we doing here?" But you know what? If this is the route we want to go, I know what comes with an inexperienced manager: a lot of failures, a lot of heartache. But it's going to take time. I was prepared to ride the journey with a young manager who had no experience, who was going to build his own thing. And I was like, this is who we are, the club right now. Coolio, let's go. Yeah. Coolio, let's go.
7 games back to back versus 5 years of no prem and 3 years of going trophyless. Which one is worse?
7 games back to back, 5 years of no prem. No, 7 games back to back with a new young manager when he came in, won his first FA Cup. I'm going to say this to you. He came in, Mikel Arteta came in. Not only did he beat Chelsea, the Chelsea that beat us with Unai Emery, right, in the Europa Cup, not only did he beat them and beat Man City on the way to winning the FA Cup in his first year. This was what Arteta did in his first year. He then went on to win. He went on to win the Community Shield that you all don't rate, and I get it, we don't rate it. So if we don't rate it, we should not rate it for Pep. When we say Pep has 20 trophies, remove the 3 Community Shield and remove the 3 FA Cup because we don't rate it, right? It's again. We were a horrible team. There was bad behavior under Unai Emery. Players did whatever they wanted to. We needed to gut the team and start again. And we brought in a manager who we knew that for the first 2-3 years, he was going to be gutting the team. So say what you will. Ever since that team was gutted and Mikel Arteta assembled his own players, he's competed at the highest level. He got to quarterfinal of the Champions League, competed against Pep Guardiola in the Premier League, competed against Pep Guardiola, who is the greatest manager, arguably, of our time in the Premier League. It's second time. While Slot was there and superseded Slot in that same year. I said Slot, that's why Klopp superseded Klopp in that same year where he was second. And Klopp, so you have to realize he was going up against juggernauts, right? And with everything that he did, with every single thing that he did, he kept on improving that team year in, year out. The second year, he was in the semi-final of the Champions League, went up against Slot and went up against Pep again. And in this third year, he's gotten to the final of the Champions League. He has finally beat Pep, beat Slot, and every other manager, won the Premier League, and we still just want to 5 years of no trophy. Come on, there's context behind those 5 years.
See, people, yeah. I mean, guys, yeah. I'll talk to Dayo so that me and him can be able to. I'll create a show so that me and him can be able to be doing it every 2 weeks or something, you know. So
No. Sorry. Thanks for the trip. I rate the FA Cup. I'm saying when rivals talk about it, they say, oh, for example,
yeah, it's just the FA Cup. It's the baby cups. Yeah.
I've heard rivals say
many people said it. They said it.
Do you know someone has said to me? Someone has said to me that, oh, he won the FA Cup with Unai Emery's team. That's not his team. Okay, and he's not won the Premier League with Klopp's team. That's not his team. So and he's not hasn't won it. Like what are we like? What do we do here? Like
what are we doing? What are we talking about? What are you doing?
Let's see.
What are you saying?
Mikel Arteta came in and played 3 at the back because of the team that we had.
My
won an FA Cup, and people just wanted to start. And I'm like, no, let's not do this. You should know what to expect when you have such a manager that is a rookie, a newbie. You got to wait now. You got to work with it.
People, if there's someone that sends shivers, to critics, I mean the guys on the critical side is Dayo. No one likes going against him. He always has an answer for them. So they actually, those guys, they stay off.
They don't. Yeah,
seriously.
Myself.
Yeah, I mean they go at Igal. I don't know why they go. I don't know why they go at Igal though. But I think it's a general.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I've only seen one video where I think it was Lee that was talking. Igal and I had a stream and he played the stream and was like, "What is this guy even talking about?" And I was like, I was going to do a response video, but I was like, you know what? I don't care, because first and foremost, I support Arsenal and I really don't care, how you want to choose to support Arsenal. But the point is, so for me, at the end of the day, the most important thing is, if you're going to be critical about something, have a solution for it. If you don't have a solution, keep your mouth shut. You just there's no point.
I hear you. I think this space
whether the solution works or not.
You should just have opinions, though. Yeah,
no.
Everyone's opinion is valid. That's how I look at it.
I can have an opinion, but some things are fact, and some facts we have to agree on those facts. For example, when players are tired after playing 45 games in the season, the fact is they are tired. So in the next game, you cannot expect them to outplay their opponents. You expect them to just get you 3 points. Fact is that they are tired. But you don't want to put context to the fact that they're tired. You just want to shit on them because they played lackadaisical football that day. But you ignore the fact that they've played 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 games in 4 weeks. You neglect the fact that they're traveling from plane to plane, place to place, landing, sleeping in a hotel, going to train, going to play, coming back. You forget all of this and throw it out the window and just want to shit on them. That's where I have a problem. I'm upset when we lose games, but I always put context around it so that I can actually criticize where we lost the game.
Well, we lost the game.
Not just in generalizing and just, let's just be, look at it. I'm isolating what the problem is. Why did we lose this game? If fatigue is the issue, then we've got to figure out how to reduce, fatigue. What is it that we can do to make these players stay sharp at the end of Declan Rice in an interview, when they asked him, say, "Hey, how was the game today? You guys won." "I'm shattered." He said shattered.
Yeah.
He used the word shattered.
Because man is covering ground. Bro, do you know how many grounds that guy covers in a particular match, though? Man is a machine, bro. And again, with this England World Cup coming up, bro, I don't think we get the same Declan Rice next season, bro.
Oh, no, we will. No. I think we will. I think, again, this is where there's going to be a change.
Do you know how many minutes man has played? Bro, that fact, though.
Listen,
which player has done that, though, in recent years?
Let me see. This is what you need to realize. Adaptation becomes a real thing, especially in sports. At the very initial stage, it's very difficult. Now that there's more games to be played, players are a lot more athletic. If you look at the players that most teams are going for, they are athletic. Most players are hitting the gym.
Are they run? No, forget your big. Are they run? No. But bro, come on, man.
But my point. See, bro. Let me Claude, let me give you this.
Easy, bro.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. What I'm saying
in one way or the other. It's the same thing with Jurien Timber.
Hold on now.
Jurien Timber now and he's injured.
Jurien Timber's injury.
Look at Zubimendi. Man is down and out. So,
no.
I mean,
Zubimendi
we
is
can
only.
go around
Yeah,
this thing, yeah, but
what? No. Yeah, you see, you're generalizing again. You're doing that generalization thing, and that for me is not how it works.
But again, we have to generalize in some cases.
You can't. You can't, because again, as
Why?
tired as Zubimendi looks, Declan Rice, even though we know he's tired, doesn't look tired on the pitch. Have you noticed that? We know Declan Rice is tired. Does he look tired on the pitch? He doesn't. So my point is that I'm not saying that he's Superman. I'm saying certain players are becoming more and more athletic, right? That's why if you notice, a lot of the players, look at the likes of what's his name, Sesko. The players that you are seeing now in football today, they're looking for tall,
Yeah.
big, athletic, big lungs, running, like, Gallagher. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for players like that because, again, the sport now requires a lot of ground coverage, a lot of running, a lot of pressing. And so what will happen is these players will adapt to that style of football, where they will realize that I can run for 5 minutes in the game, and then for 2 minutes, I can gasp down a little. When we don't have the ball, I don't have to chase it that much. I need to rest. That's why off the ball, Arsenal look like they are just at ease. We don't overly press, except Odegaard leads the press. When Odegaard doesn't lead the press, we just shuffle left, shuffle right. At that time, you're regaining power to be able to give more outbursts in the next 10 minutes. So they're going to find ways to balance it in the game, in-game management. And that's all I'm saying. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. See, people, second stop of my What Now tour. See, people, I might bring Dayo to close the specials, bro, people. He might be the one to come and close the specials later on when I've finished the shows. See, people, yeah, I'm looking on bringing Big Steve.
And I'm just going to say this. The answer to all your questions tonight is everything Mikel Arteta did this season. You can complain whether he played Norgard, he didn't play Norgard, whether he played with a broken toe, he didn't play. He won the league with his system. Simple. You can have all your say how you want to say it with the way you want to say it.
He won the league, bro.
The league was won with the way he went about it. I don't want to hear City fell off. I don't want to hear Liverpool fell off. I don't want to hear any of those things because you said his system was not going to work, and the system worked the way he wanted it to work.
It worked. No, Dayo, you should be giving your flowers, bro. No, to be very sincere, you should be giving your flowers because, bro, come on, man. We can't be doing this, bro. And sincerely, I apologize to you because when we were talking about this at 30 on the show, I think that was on Igal's channel, and you were like, hey, the manager should still stay. That it's a no-brainer and everything. I was so angry that you still wanted. I mean, I would apologize for that. And see, bro, see, you know what? Yeah, see, Dayo, there's no harm in being wrong about this. I was wrong. I can literally say I was wrong. I backed this manager for about 4 seasons, bro. I backed the manager for about 4 seasons. No one can blame me. Yeah.
No, Tony, I get it. Tony, I get it. I appreciate. Listen, I appreciate. Listen,
I tried my best.
Listen, I appreciate.
My best. We ought to get over the line, mostly in that 4th season.
Tony, I appreciate.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, I appreciate the apology, but you don't owe me an apology because you didn't insult me anything. You just said my opinion, and I appreciate that, man. Thanks for doing that. But I want to say this: when you say things like this without him realizing that he has to play Miles Lewis-Kelly in midfield, we would have not continued to finish the end of the season. But he realized it, and he played Miles Lewis-Kelly in midfield. He realized it and played him. So what do you mean without him realizing? Like, it is everything that you want to try to pin on the guy, he did, and now you want to use it against him. It's like I've never understood a fan base that says this guy is not good enough because he's not doing this. Then the manager goes and does the this. But then you still want to blame him for doing it and then say, if only he did not do this. So all of a sudden now, we would not have won the league if he didn't play Miles Lewis.
People still want him out, though. Now, this is why I know it's an agenda now. People still want him out, though.
Yeah, it's because you know what it is. Let me tell you about those people.
They still want him out.
I know. Let me tell you about those people.
And that's where I draw the line. Because
let me tell you about those people.
Because I wanted someone who was gonna win me a title, and he did it. Why wouldn't he be getting another contract?
Let me tell you about those people. Let me tell you what it is. It is their pride and their arrogance and the fact that for a long time they've piled a lot of shit on this manager, even though they knew the truth. A lot of them could read the lines and say, you know what, this guy is on his way to get us something. But because they had jumped on the bandwagon of hatred, and kept on using those things against Mikel Arteta. Now that he has
Bro,
gotten
it's not
the line,
hatred, it's just
no, no,
pain.
no, no,
I
no, no, no,
understand
no,
where
no,
they're
no.
coming
Listen,
from.
let me tell you
I
why I said it's
understand where
hatred.
people
No,
like
no, Tony,
BBK,
let me,
people like
Tony,
Lee
Tony,
Connor,
let me finish.
people like
Let me tell
people
you
like
why.
Shane. I know
I'm
where
not
they're
addressing.
coming from.
I'm
It's
not
pent
addressing
up
those people.
pain.
Listen, I'm not addressing those people. I'm talking about
No,
the
I
people.
get you,
Let me.
but it's from the
Can I
pain
finish?
that they've
Can I
gotten, bro.
finish? Can I
Yeah,
finish? Can I finish?
yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know that. I also have pain from 22 years, right? But you don't see me shitting on the manager to the point where even now that
No,
he's
but
gotten it.
because
Hold
you
on, hold on.
express things
No, no,
differently. You
hold on.
express things differently.
Let
People
me
can be
finish. Though.
you.
Let me
I know,
finish.
but Dayo, people cannot be you.
I'm not saying people should be me.
Yeah,
Let me
people
finish
cannot
what
be you. Try to
let me
understand
finish.
that too.
Tony, let me finish what I'm saying. I'm not. That's why I said I'm
Big
not
up
addressing.
Shane.
Yeah,
Shane
yeah,
is here.
yeah. Tony, I'm
Big ups
addressing
to
me.
Shane. Big
Tony,
ups,
I'm
my brother.
addressing.
Shane,
Let me finish.
thanks for the for the send the other day, man. God bless you, mate. God bless you.
Tony,
Shane, we're champions, bro. Shane, see, I'm inviting brother Shane to the What Now tour, people. Yeah. Hopefully next week, I'll get to bring him down here. And if he would like to go, head to head with my brother here, the Gunner's Edge Dayo, that's something I like to see, so that we can all, come together and have a chat together.
Tony, I'd like to finish my thought process so that you don't get it confused. I am not speaking to anybody or how anybody feels. I'm speaking to how I feel. What I'm saying is a qualification to me and not to anybody. I don't care. People can, believe what they want, live how they want. But the truth is, if I've insulted someone so much, right, to the point where when the person proves me wrong and does what I've said they could not do, I don't have it in me to own up and say, you know what, I was wrong, you were right. And I still say, I want you out. That has gone from criticism to hatred. That's personal hatred of the manager. It's no longer a thing where you're saying, oh, you can't tell me now that he's gotten over the line that you still want him out. That has gone beyond criticism. Because everything
you think that the football is not sustainable, though? Listen, again, what is the thing that it's not sustainable, though?
Why would it not? Hold on. What proof?
Maybe it's not sustainable the way we're playing. It's not sustainable. Defensive football can only help you.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
No, see, I'm a sampler of opinions. I'm not saying that these are my opinions. But what
you're doing is you're doing
it where other people are coming from.
Tony, you're making excuses.
Do you understand
that? Tony, because you're doing if, buts, and maybes. All of a sudden, he wins the league, and now I don't think it's going to be sustainable. I don't care what you think. The proof is in the pudding. He has won the league with his method.
He's won the league, and fair. I agree.
So now let's see if he can do it again with that same method. For you to then conclude now that method is not sustainable is you doing an if, but, and maybe and judging him on an if, but, and maybe and saying you want him out still. You're literally saying get rid of the guy who has won the league because I think his method is not sustainable, but that method just won you the league. How is it that you want to prove that? That has gone from common sense to us in living in a world of...
And I understand it from that standpoint.
And that's
okay. But Dayo, see, that's what I'm saying. Even many rivals don't still value the way we want it in terms of the style of play. There's no aesthetics. There's no beauty. They want to see pure tiki-taka. They want to see our strikers do their thing and score goals. They want to see our midfield produce chances.
It's not my job to defend rivals. It's not my job.
Again, see, Dayo, it's not my opinion.
I know, but I'm giving you my
asking you.
I'm giving my answer.
I'm only asking you because these are talking points that make sense also.
I'm giving you my answer.
A lot less of set pieces and a lot more of players taking people on.
It is not Arsenal's job. It is not Arsenal Football Club.
Our strikers scoring goals.
It is not Arsenal Football Club's responsibility.
Less defensive. Less defensive mindedness and more of attacking flair, attacking play. I mean, it's not crazy for a fan to want these things, though.
No. Again, I'm not saying it's crazy, but you have to pick and choose your poison. If attacking flair is going to not win you anything like we did in 22-23, and you're saying, oh, I still want that and I want to win the trophy, then you're a greedy ass bastard. You've got to choose one. We have an effective method that works and wins you games. You're not happy. You want flair. Then if you do flair and you're unable to win the game with the flair, you want to blame the manager. This whole idea that we we can get to a point eventually, and I agree, where we have the best of both worlds, where we're playing good football and winning trophies simultaneously. But as a club that has not won it for 22 years, the first thing you want to do is get it over the line. We get it over the line, and guess what? They move the goalpost. Now it's about the look and the feel and the style and the aesthetic of the football. Oh, Arteta football is not sustainable because it's not beautiful. The football that you called unsustainable has effectively scored the second most goals in the Premier League, considered the least goals in the Premier League, has literally won you the Premier League, and we're going to sit down now and change the whole narrative from he can't get it over the line to the aesthetics are not good or the football is not free-flowing. The football that will be free-flowing will come eventually. Guess why? Because when you start to win, you start to get more confidence.
What gives it? Wait, Dayo. Wait. You ran too fast with that. Why do you think, that we would start playing amazing football all of a sudden when we've seen
we know how to play it already?
When we've seen that, the manager is stuck on winning the league with a completely different way.
Again, this is why I think so. In 22-23, Mikel Arteta played free-flowing football. He didn't win the league. He lost by 5 points. In 23-24, he played conservative and free-flowing football. We played 16 games in the second half of the 23-24 season. We won 14, drew 1, and lost 1. Kai Havertz went on a madness and scored 16 goals in that period as well. We were beating teams 4-0, 5-0, 6-1, 4-0. We went on a madness. I think people have forgotten how good this team can be when they want to play free-flowing football. But guess what? We lost the league by 2 points. At the end of the day, what this manager has done and said is we need to get over the line so that the winning trophy comes, the feeling comes. Now, the innate talents to dribble and play is in these players. Now you can unleash them next season, play a bit of free-flowing football, knowing fully well that people are going to be looking at us as champions.
But what assures you he's going to allow this players play with freedom, though?
Again, I'm not saying.
Dayo, what makes you feel? No, Dayo, I could also be on your side. I'm not taking any
that's
side.
What I'm asking now, but you're not letting me finish.
What makes you feel like Arteta is going to say, boys,
it's not about.
I mean, it's always in their faces.
Okay, let me
telling them what to do. It's always like a school teacher like me that tells them what to do. So this is what I'm saying. What gives you the assurances? What gives you the assurances that Mikel Arteta is going to allow them play with so much freedom that you are so sure about that is going to unleash it?
Let me address it.
And before that, Brother Shane, I've just said something here. Yeah, I respect people. Shout out to Brother Shane. I respect him a lot. He's one of the few people I respect in this space. Me and him are not aligned. I mean, in terms of how I do my own thing, but he's doing his own thing and he's doing it well. He's killing it, people. Big up to Brother Shane. I love the brother. And of course, man has been sending me, he's been giving me the redirect. Big up to Brother Shane. I love you. And he says, Arteta has proven that he can get over the line. He still needs to improve a hell of a lot of things. And he needs to win several trophies in the next few years to win me over. What do you have to say to Brother Shane?
That's his personal thing that he wants for Mikel Arteta to do. And fair enough, that's a good standard to set for your manager. That's on you. I can't speak to what people want for the manager. I can only speak to what the manager has done and what I see him doing. I want to debunk something that you said. You said he's in their face like a school teacher telling them what to do, what not to do. This was a manager that was asked, when you guys are watching the Bournemouth game at the training center, he said, I wasn't there. 20 minutes before the match was going to start, I knew I could not bring the energy that the players needed. So I went home. And I made barbecue and I was eating at home. I didn't even watch the match. This is what he said. But my son came out after the game was done and said, Daddy, we are champions. That's how he found out that Bournemouth drew to City. He did not watch the game. Go watch his interview. Yes. So he left the place because he couldn't give the boys the energy. He felt a certain negative and he left so that they could be themselves. So that narrative that you're saying he's always in their face telling them what to do is a lie. This is a manager that knows and is self-aware, knows about himself, knows when to be able to be around his players. And I'm saying,
bro, how is that a lie, bro? We see that it's very animated. It's very animated. It's very animated in the touch line.
Being animated does not mean that you're in your face.
Even you showed the sign that he was doing, bro. Even you on the show on this special tonight.
Yes,
you showed when he was, bro. Come on, man. How can you say I'm lying, bro?
No. I said that is
Those
called,
are not lies.
that is called.
It's
That
in
is
the
called.
faces. It's
That
telling
is
them
called.
what to do.
No, that is called reminding.
So that's why I asked you a direct question.
That is
Why
called.
do you think? Why do you think it's gonna? Why do you think it's gonna allow them play with so much
I'm coming to
freedom
that.
when
I'm coming to that answer. I'm coming to that answer. But
when you know that he's always directing them and telling them what to do?
Let me finish.
It's
Let me
always.
finish.
When was
Let
the
me
last
finish.
time you saw Arteta sit down, though?
Let me finish.
No,
If you don't let me finish, you
am
keep changing
asking you.
questions. No, you keep
When
changing
was the last
questions.
time you saw Arteta
I'm going to
sit down, though?
When was the last time you saw Diego Simeone sit down? When was the last time you saw the manager? Like we make this thing about Arteta like he's the only manager that doesn't sit down. There's many managers that stand on the touchline, and I don't hear none of you talk about them. It is such a disingenuous thing. Just because the manager is reminding his players, calm down, relax. That is not you being in their face. He's not telling Odegaard, dribble twice and pass back. He's saying, calm down. The manager doing this is, and all managers do that. Pep does it. Chill, step back. Everybody does it, but all of a sudden, Arteta does it. You say that means he's in the face of the players. No,
bro, don't blame me. I'm just a radio guy. I'm just dishing out opinions and responding your opinion. It's not my opinion, though.
I'm responding to whatever it is that they said. I'm not saying you said so. Everything I'm saying is not that you said. You said it. The same way you mentioned at the beginning that they said. I'm responding to them. But you're here, so I want you to hear it. Now, what makes me think that Arteta and the players are going to play with a lot more freedom next season? Let me tell you why. As a player this season, there was a point in the season where you felt Man City could come and win this league over us. There's pressure, there's tension, there's everything. Now you have won it. Now you know what it feels like to win. You'll be playing with a little bit more freedom in your heart as a player. Even if you're playing within the same system Arteta is playing in, you'll be playing with a lot more flair because you know the system now. You know it works. You know that you don't have to be overly like protective of the ball. Like if I lose the ball here, they could score. Now you're like, I know my system works. I know that there'll be a player behind me. I know Declan will cross here. You believe in the system, so you will play a lot freer. You're a referee. You've seen teams when they've gone on to win, when they come back, even playing the same system, they look a lot better. You know why? Because now they believe in the system. They believe in the style. It's a lot more known to them. It's no longer a system that they are testing to see if they can use it to win. It's a system that they've tested and it has worked. And because it's proven players will naturally, and even the manager, he can't stop that progression. He can't restrict it anymore because the system has worked naturally. Players now know that Raya can ping a long ball to the right on this side, and they trust it now. It becomes a more, natural thing to them, which is why I said, I believe the system will evolve into that. That's what happens with any good system. It's like the first time you drive a fast car, when you get used to the speed, eventually when you've driven it for a month, you know your BM, you know your car, you know when you can hand shift. It becomes naturally. The first time you drive it, you're cautious. You want to be sure that it can do what it does. So we tried the system. He was cautious with it all season. They tested it out. They worked on it. They did it. It got them over the line. And this is a good system because it works with starting from the defense. So at the end of the day, it becomes more free-flowing. It becomes more natural. So that's why I think it's going to get better. Not because because again, people are trying to paint him as one guy that just puts everybody in the box and with them, you must play within this line. That's not true. It's not. It's such a narrative from the media. It's such a narrative from pundits, from rivals, and then there's in-house fans who will say things that are the most random things about him, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know.
I hear you. Look at things. Look at what things says here. It says, but Dayo, I mean, people. I mean, I have to start a show with Dayo. People, I have to start a show with him. Everyone wants a piece of that, bro. Everyone,
right,
bro. Even God didn't have this kind of. Even God didn't have this kind of, push yesterday on the special, bro. Everyone wants a piece of Dayo. I mean, bro, do you know what it takes to bring out Shane, bro? Bro, do you know what it means to bring out Shane?
Tony, I'm
bro,
playing.
Shane is not easy person to bring out.
I'm playing football tonight. I need to go soon.
Came here and said his piece because of you, my bro. He says, but Dayo, this is a one in a lifetime we've seen his system work. How do we know it's gonna work for the next upcoming competition? If we would have done it 2 times, 3 times, I would understand.
Let me give you the answer to this question. In 22-23, he played a different system, free-flowing football. Everybody was attacking. Arsenal was the most entertaining team to watch. That system did not work. It did not win us anything. Then he tried another system, 23-24. We tried that system and we lost by 2 points to Manchester City. Then we tried another system last season. This system last season is similar to the system we're playing this season. The difference is we didn't have enough manpower because when we had injuries, we were not able to rotate enough. And we fell off bigly. We messed up. We fell off because we did not recruit properly. And we saw that system, this same system last season failed. This season, we recruited properly and we were able to plug those holes. And I'll tell you some of the things that happened last season that did not happen this season. Disciplinary issues was one of them. Last season, we drew 14 games. 6 of those games, we played with 10 men. This season, we've not had one red card. We worked on our disciplinary issues to keep 11 men on the pitch to be able to play the style that Arteta wants. And this system has finally won the league. So how is it that you can then say that, how do we know if it's going to work again? We've tried other ones that did not work, and this one has worked. So you want to believe that the one that has worked is probably going to be the one that will be tweaked again to adapt or be dynamic next season, to work again next season. That's how it's done. So let's not do this. You've only seen it once. We saw other systems that did not work. And yes, under Wenger and Unai Emery, we played better football. I agree with you. But again, if you're going to tell me that Wenger did not come and change the face of football for Arsenal, then you're a liar, because Wenger was a unique profile. He's one of the greatest, right? He's one of the great managers. He changed the face of football for Arsenal. Before Wenger came to Arsenal, he came from Japan and he brought a lot of ideas. He brought balanced diet. He brought a lot of different ideas on how football should be played and practiced, and he changed football for us now. Under Unai Emery, we played better football. Really? Unai Emery gave us our worst run since 1992 that we've ever had. 7 games, 7 losses, and then the final loss in the Europa Cup. We hadn't lost a game 7 games back-to-back since 1992 until Unai Emery. So don't tell me that we played better football. Like, I think you guys are very selective about the things that you want to say and the things you choose to say. Yes, Unai Emery is not, and like I said, Unai Emery is a good manager. I respect him. I rate him. Maybe he just wasn't the right one for us. Maybe we needed to reset as Arsenal Football Club and not carry our head into the sky like we think that we're still the Invincibles. Because what has happened to this club is the Invincibles. What has happened to this club is the Invincibles set a bar so high that every other team after that, even they themselves could not replicate what they did the year after that. They went into the Champions League final in 06 and we lost. I get it, there's a lot of controversy about that, but regardless, every other team after that in Arsenal will struggle to live up to that level. We've made that the yardstick. Maybe we needed to reset, and that's why Mikel Arteta was important. We needed that reset to take us back and make us realize, yes, we're a great club, but we're not going to be invincible all the time.
True. But see, thanks for the trophy. See, this is the thing. This is why I disagree with you. Yeah, I rather trust a car steering system than a Arteta's system. But that system,
yeah, that's cool.
So this is why I draw the line, though.
This is why I can have conversations.
I've been a better out here, guys. Yeah, but I draw the line here. This is what I draw the line. That same system has just won us the league title, bro.
I see when people try to predict the future, it makes me laugh. We will get found out next season. How do you know we will not find out other teams next season? How do you know that this manager is not sitting down right now doing his homework for next season? How do you know that his backroom staff are not planning for the players that are going to come in, different profiles? Why do we just make bland, outlandish statements based on our bias because we really just don't like the manager? And now that he has won, instead of saying, you know what, I was wrong, Arteta got it right this time. He's one of the Premier League. I hope he does better. I hope he do better, and many more to come. Instead, we say he's going to get found out if he doesn't change his style. You still want to blame the style, but that style won you the Premier League. You can't blame the style that won you the Premier League. I'm sorry.
The Premier League, exactly.
You insulted the style all season. You said it was crap. It wasn't going to work. You said it wasn't going to win, and the style eventually won. And instead of admitting I was wrong, the style won, you want to turn around and say if he doesn't change it next season, then he will lose next season. You're moving the can down the road. You're moving the goalpost. You're talking about next season.
I mean, guys, you just have to agree.
You're talking about it.
He has won the league. Honestly, you were wrong. You were wrong too. He slapped you in the face. Arteta slapped you in the face. Thomason, you have to agree. You were wrong about him. And again, me too. I mean, people. I said we're gonna win a treble this season.
Again.
I said we're gonna win,
Again.
yeah. But people, I also wanted Mikel Arteta out, yeah. He slapped me on my face. I never believed we get over the line. So people, let's don't act as if we're not gonna move.
Hold on. This idea that says, if he doesn't change the style next season, he'll get found out. That means you're still talking about the same style that we criticized this year that has finally won the league, but you're still looking for an avenue to be able to say the style will not work next season. That's the future. Let's leave the future to the future. And for you asking me whether if we did not get Asia, we did not get Gyökeres, I simply said to you at the beginning of the stream, if you're not listening, I want you to listen. The club itself did what needed to be done by bringing in an experienced sporting director in Andrea Berta. Andrea Berta doing his own job, bringing in the right players and giving them to Mikel Arteta. If you gave Mikel Arteta Asia and Gyökeres and he did not use them well, we will not win the league. He found a way to use them eventually in the games that yielded the results. That's what I'm giving him credit for. We gave Arne Slot top 5 quality players in Liverpool, plus the players that he already had with the Van Dijks and the Allisons and everybody and the McAllisters and the Soberslides. They already had a solid team. And he brought in Wirtz, brought in Kitike, brought in Isak, but he was unable to cook with them. So I can blame that manager and say, how can you make all your players look bad? Salah and everybody. Mikel Arteta has found a way to make Noni Madueke relevant. I don't race Noni Madueke, but he found a way to make him relevant. He found a way to make Gyökeres that I call Timberland boots relevant. 21 goals in all competitions. The manager is doing something. He found a way to make Trossard and Martinelli look like a demon in the Champions League and Trossard come up in clutch moments in the Premier League. I get it. You want to find a way to say the manager is not good, but it's not possible. This would not have been possible without him and the players. So kudos to all of them. Kudos to Arsenal winning the Premier League, but you cannot turn around and change narrative.
Kudos, bro. I will take down my ego and say I was wrong. Arteta, I was wrong. I will pull down my ego. See, people, yeah, we as men, yeah, we have big egos, yeah. I'll drop down my ego and say, hey, Arteta, I was wrong.
I believe the players that got us over the line, not the manager. With the 32 injuries.
No. Would you blame me? No, Dayo, would you blame me?
No, I'm not blaming you.
But would you blame me though? I supported the manager for like about 4 seasons. I thought I've seen enough.
I'm not blaming you.
Listen, changes everything.
Listen, I supported the manager as well in the same 4 seasons you're talking about. And as I was supporting him, what I saw, the difference that I saw was I said to myself, I have a rookie manager. I've got to give him 2 seasons to figure out his players. That's what I told myself. After 2 seasons, when he got his players, in the 3rd season, I was like, just qualify for Champions League and I'll be happy because you're a rookie manager, your 3rd year. I'm not trying to put any extra pressure yet. These were the goals I was setting. You can call them low standard goals, but I call them realistic goals because you know what you have. I don't know what this guy is capable of, so I want to see. But in his 3rd year, what did he do? He challenged. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? That was when I was like, this guy, like, you're in trouble now. You're in trouble now. The expectations went sky high. We were not ready to challenge until 23-24 to be realistic. Arsenal was not ready to challenge. That was when we would have been ready to challenge, but we started challenging the year before. Hence, the 1st year we came second. The 2nd year the 3rd year we came, second again. And again, it's against Pep Guardiola. So people should stop making it seem as if we're challenging against some random Thomas Johnson coach somewhere. But this is the best manager probably in our lifetime, And nobody's saying Noni is good enough. Nobody's saying some of these players are good enough. In fact, this even makes Mikel a genius. If Noni is not good enough and he was able to get the best out of him to win the league, that makes the manager.
Dayo.
It is.
Dayo, listen, you have to throw that in there, right?
It's true. If players are not good enough,
muddy the waters.
I have to
because again, rub it in. My days, bro.
This player is not good enough. That player is not good enough. I believe the players want it for us. I don't believe the players want it for us. Which is it? If the players are not good enough, then the manager is a genius for figuring out a system that is ugly, slow, won the Premier League with players that are not good enough. That's a genius manager there. Then you have to give Mikel Arteta all his flowers. You have to. Okay. It's either that or you're saying the players are good enough and the manager is good enough and they work together, they figured it out and they got over the line. You can't sit there and shit on the players and then try to shit on the manager too. And then when he wins the Premier League, you're like, well, I think it's the players that got us over the line. Well, if it's the players, then we didn't need to. We could have fired Mikel Arteta, and the players could have organized themselves and won the league.
But you know that doesn't work though. Come on, man. You know that doesn't work though. But again,
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, you'd rather Bowen. I mean, Bowen. I see him carrying West Ham, right? Like, yeah, he's fighting relegation now. Yeah, I hear you.
Big up, see people.
By the way, hold on. I'm going to end on this note. I'm going to end on this note real quick, Tony. You see, you have to do your research and you have to have your facts. You lied again. Berta is the one who got Eze and Gyökeres for us. Arteta's talent ID would not have been good enough to get players. Do you know who insisted on Eze? Berta wanted to go and get the striker from Inter Milan right now. That young Italian tall boy, 21-year-old. That's what Andrea Berta wanted to get when Kai Havertz got injured. Mikel Arteta insisted on Eze. Mikel Arteta wanted what's his name that went to Manchester United. I agree, and it was Berta who insisted on Gyökeres. This is how a manager and sports director work together. They compromise for each other. So stop lying when you come out with stuff. You literally, Eze had to call Arteta, who insisted to Berta that it's Eze that he wanted. So why did Eze call Arteta? Why did Eze call Berta? You just said Berta was the one who got him. So why did Eze call Berta? Why was it Arteta that he called? And why does Eze have Arteta's direct number? That tells you that they've been talking. So please, when you say these things, think about it first. Don't just come out here and lie. This is why you make the club look bad, because you say the wrong things and then rival fans run with it and then go and run with the narrative and start to insult the club. But you don't do your research. You don't
insult us all, right?
Yeah, Eze had to call Arteta. For Eze to have Arteta's number, that means that there's some relationship. Eze didn't have Berta's number. It wasn't Berta that he called. So what are we doing here? Guys, let's be realistic.
Tell these people where they could find you, my guy. See, people.
It's very easy. The Ghana Edge.
See, people. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be inviting Shane, but for Shane Gunner to the What Now tour. People, how about that? Yeah, and brother Shane, I believe he's gonna come and have his own say down here, and it would be nice to actually have Dayo on that show. You know, I mean, I'm a bringer of people together. Yeah, I'm not all for this quarrels or whatnot. Yeah, that people that generally do not share the same ideas could actually sit down and have a chat. That's who I am. Yeah, even I even heard this evening that Brother Shane was in the same show with Igao this evening, bro. It happens, bro. You know, so I'm gonna have a special, yeah, and the What Now tour that will bring Brother Shane down here and have a Brother Dayo down here, and let's have a chat. Let's talk. Let's go through the corners. Let's have a, you know, let's interact. Let's connect, people. I'll talk to Shane and we'll see what's gonna happen about that. See, Dayo, talk to these people. Tell them where they can find you.
Yo, the Ghana
What a show. Fire show. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. People, back to back, facts. Yeah, back and forth. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, with my brother. And see, bro, if no one will give you your flowers, I give you your flowers. You got it correctly. You called it. You said we're gonna win the league, bro. Take the props. Yeah, take the props. Bro. I give you your flowers, bro. People, that's me. I'm not a politician. Yeah, this is me. Yeah, if you prove us wrong, you take the cake. No problem, bro. Yeah, you said that Arteta was going to get us over the line. And that's true. It's
funny if you didn't get it. And if you remember, do you remember this? I don't know if you ever heard me say this, but this was what I said last season. I said, I'll give him one more season. He needs to win a major. I said, even if he wins me a FA and Carabao Cup, I want him gone. I don't want 2 minor trophies. I want a major trophy. This was my final season for him to win something major. But I caveated it. I said, I see him winning the major because I've seen the projection. And the progression of how he has gone. I'm like, there's no way he's not winning the major this season. It was too clear. Like the path to winning it was just way too clear. Just looking at the data, because I like to crunch data and I like to find information. I don't like
I know you do that.
I just don't like to make general, statements. For example, when you look at somebody's handle that says, "Thanks for the trophy, now fuck off," that tells you that this person has no objectivity about what Mikel Arteta has done. They just don't care. All they really care about is, oh, now you've given us the trophy. They can't bring themselves to say, oh, I was wrong about this. And that's what makes you a real man. or a real woman or a real person, when you're able to identify and be self-aware and say, I got it wrong. If he didn't win anything this season, I'll be the first Arteta out guy. I'll be like, look, I got it wrong. I crunched all this data, and this guy is still
Are you
disappointed.
sure you wouldn't take 2 more years?
No, I
Give him
won't.
2 more years.
Listen, I had.
He's almost complete.
No,
Dayo, come on, man.
No. I wouldn't
Come on, man.
You know why I wouldn't have said that? You know why I wouldn't have said that?
You know you're gonna support the club,
No,
bro. You're gonna support it,
Tony,
no matter what.
Tony, don't put words in my mouth. Let me tell you why I said I wouldn't have supported it. I wouldn't have supported it because even the Cronkies, even Josh Kroenke, the Cronkies, I know people here in the US who work with some of this their organizations.
Of course, I know. Now you don't even need to go in there. Yeah.
And there's people who have, like, you know, Arteta has spoken to the manager of the coach of the Rams. Like, so I know 1 or 2 people who know the coach there and everything. And they're like, even they were not saying that they're going to fire him, but they're like, it's going to be tough now. Like, I know that it's getting to that. And so even for me, I said if it's an FA Cup Carabao, I still want to change him. And on the basis that you're bringing me a top manager. And we have to look at the market and see who are these top manager. Don't change him and bring me Enzo Maresca. Don't change him and bring me Ariola. I'm not saying they're not good managers. If you're going to get Luis Enrique for me after him or Zidane, yes, then we're talking, because we're at the point where we just need to get it over the line. So my point is, what the data said different to me. The data said he was going to get it over the line, and he's proven me right. He's gotten over the line. I'm happy he has done it. I'm happy for the club. And I believe that now the system is going to evolve itself to be a more natural system to the players. It will look better. They'll play better. It won't look as rough as it was because they're going to fine tune it. And again, it would work. And if they need to tweak it and change it, I believe he's dynamic enough to do that. We've seen him change.
We have to see about that next season, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
again,
we can't just fully say, the style of the brand of football.
Like I said,
you can't beat your chest and say that's what's going to happen.
No. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. What I'm saying is he has the ability to, because we've seen him change from 22-23 to 23-24. He changed the system. 24-25. So we've seen that behavior. So I know that based on that, he has the ability to be able to dynamically change the system to suit whatever the league will be next season, because I've seen him change it over the last 3 seasons. So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the ability to change it. I'm not saying it's going to change. I'm just saying I know that he has what it takes to be able to create a new system to work for next season if the clubs change the way they're also approaching how they play Arsenal. Because I've seen him change from 22-23, 23-24, 24-25. We've seen different styles from Arsenal.
Yeah,
So again, this is just based on what I've seen. I can say it is possible that if there's a need for change next season, then he will change. Okay. And if there's no need for change, boom.
People, the What Now tour is on full effect. Thanks, Brother Shane, for the redirect. God bless you, my brother. God bless you. And see, people, I'll be inviting Brother Shane. Hopefully next week, and if he's coming, I'll be inviting Dayo so that let's just have a chat. Let's just look at people, mostly in our fan base, 2 hard hitters, that believe differently in what they believe in, and let's come together and talk, So it is what it is.
We believe we believe in the same thing at the end of the journey, but we don't believe in the journey according to how to get there. That's the difference between how I perceive how Shane looks at things and how I look at it. I embrace the journey and agree with the journey, and I criticize what I need to criticize. But the end goal is we both want the club to be successful and to win. And when the club wins, I expect us to celebrate it. But what I've never understood is when the good times have come now, we've won the Premier League, and then people say things like, well, Arteta then has to win 5 more leagues for me to accept him. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. That's your standard then. But the bottom line was we first said he couldn't get us over. In fact, some people said he would. Some people said.
I hear you. That's true. And that's why I need to invite Brother Shane.
Some people even said he wouldn't qualify.
So that we can have a chat about it.
Yeah, some people even said he won't qualify for the Champions League.
That's why I need to bring Brother Shane, so that he can give us perspective into what.
Okay.
No, but again, when you laugh at these things, see, Dayo, when you laugh at these things, sometimes you throw away the pain, bro. You've totally
no. I'm laughing at
genuine pain.
Was I not in pain? Hold on.
When we didn't get over the line.
Listen.
Yeah,
here's what
this
I'm
should
saying.
have been the 4th season, that we didn't get over the line.
Do you know what
over the line now? So
you see what you're doing. You see what you're doing. You see what you're doing as well. This could have been the 4th season where we did not. even after we've gotten over the line, there was already, and I get it, I understand. I also have the same pain, right? But what I'm saying is, what I'm laughing at is the fact that if I say today he can't get us over the line, he's not going to qualify us for Champions League, then he qualified me for Champions League and I don't own up to it, I'm not man enough. I should own up to it and say, hey, I was wrong about that aspect. Then I say, then I should be able to, then I say he's not going to win the Champions League. And then he gets me to the final of the Champions League. I should be able to say, hey, you know what? I was wrong about that. I agree. It should have come since, but now you've done it. If I say he's not going to win me a Premier League, then he wins me a Premier League, and then I say something like, oh, but he has to win many more trophies for me to then accept him. I need to first acknowledge the things that I said, which is why I laughed. Acknowledge the things that you said he wasn't going to be able to do that he has done. Kudos. Now, if you want to set new goals for him, let's set new goals for him. But don't gloss over what you've said and try to roll it under the carpet and then just set new goals and roll the can down the road and make it seem like those of us who were saying we back this manager, he can do it, are the crazy ones. No, we're not the crazy ones. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not laughing at anybody's sorrow. I'm not laughing at anybody's pain, because I had pain too. I literally had pain, but I had to figure out, okay, what am I going to channel this pain to? Is it going to be constructive criticism of how this club can get better? Yeah. Eze made a statement. He was laughing at that trolling bottle thing. You saw that trolling bottle? The bottle thing. And if you hear a statement, and this is why I listen to players critically. He said, oh, I got in from one of my mates' group chats. They posted it there. That means that these players see things. People send clips to them. Friends send chats to them. They see these things. And as Arsenal fans, if we're the ones shitting on our own players and saying all kinds of negative things, and people send it to them, what do you expect when they get on the pitch? We're going to sit here and act like we didn't hear this guy actually say, I got this from one of my mates' group chats. This is where they sent it, and then he was now showing it on his phone. Which means that a lot of the stuff that we put out here, some of our players see it. And let's be honest, we've said some really nasty things about some of these players. Players who have carried this club to where it is right now, which is champions. We've said some nasty things. Are we going to take it back? Because everybody wants to play the victim now. Oh, I've been paying for 22 years. Yes. But Saka wasn't born. Max Dama wasn't born when the 22 years started. But he's part of the story. He scored the second goal at Everton to give you a trophy. But we've said all kinds of nasty things about his teammates. Are we going to take that back as well? Let's be realistic here. We can't just turn around all of a sudden and say, now that it's done, okay, let's just sweep everything under the carpet and it's all hunky-dory. It is hunky-dory that we're celebrating the win as champions. But man, responsibility. Let's be mature and accept our responsibility.
I mean, I hear you. I hear you, my bro. See, Dayo, you have to come on the special next week. I'll talk to Brother Shane. I have to text him. He's a very busy guy. You know, he's running his channel and he's doing well in his channel. Brother Shane, he has a big following. You know, I like his style. I like what he does. You know, he's a great person.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't Shane, if you're still in the chat, I'll be honest, I didn't know your content. I think I've run across it once or twice. And the only time I finally did see your content was on one of those reaction videos where they do like Arsenal compilation stuff.
Yeah,
and when you talked about Declan Rice, and I'll address that Declan Rice thing. When I saw you mock him, because that's what you did, you mocked him, not giving any context to it. You said he was being pretentious because there was a camera on him. That is all just conspiracy. How if he wanted to be pretentious, he could have walked up the
bro. We can't talk on that. Brother Shane has to be here to be able
no,
to.
Fair enough. I'm just saying my own piece. And for me, it was what it was. But my brother,
you will have to speak on it. Brother Shane will have to speak on it. So
all right.
I'll bring two of you here next week and on the tour again, on a rebuttal show, and let's go off on it. You know, so it is what it is. So, Brother Shane, you better show up. From me and Dayo, my brother people, this is from the second installment of the What Now Tour. People, I told you, look at the show I've given to you guys tonight, people. No other person than my brother, Dayo of the Gunner's Edge, people. We are out. I catch you guys tomorrow, people. See you soon.
Yo.